All right, it's time for the SpaceBro Show with your super favorite members of the team. Tonight we have Scorpion 66. That's right. There he is. And the amazing, stupendous Toy Grubbin. And you know him, you love him. That's right, it's the Few. And of course, me, I'm here too, but that's all right. We don't care about all that shit. What is going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing awesome.
It's Friday.
Oh, yeah.
It's Friday. Dude, this week was exceptionally brutal for me.
Was it?
Work-wise, I feel
Work
like,
was just rough?
Yeah, I didn't get stream Wednesday. I had to cancel Wine Wednesday. And like every night you get off of work and you're like, it's like
terrible.
You when you sacrifice the best part of your brain cells for the work and then you get off of work and you have no brain cells left to give to anything else.
And then if you gave them to wine, you'd have 0 brain cells or negative, and then you got to make up for them, right?
Well, the wine helps, like, just make it so I don't need the brain cells for, like, I don't know.
Right on.
Oh,
so when you judge a bad week, do you judge it as based on bottles of wine? Do you go, oh, this is a 3-bottle week versus a 6-bottle week, or
no? First of all, I don't drink nearly that much, as I'm super lightweight. Second of all,
well, per week maybe.
No, not even that.
You don't think you drink 3 bottles in a week? Because I think I've been streaming with you during a week where you've had consumed 3 bottles in 1 week.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, but it's not common. No, 3 bottles in a stream would probably kill me.
No, he had 2 bottles, 1 stream almost. Yeah. And I was like, he was.
Is he gonna do a Geo?
Not that bad.
Hey, that we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, that never happened.
Exactly. No, but in general, like, I mean, like, first of all, this week, this is the first wine I've had all week because I didn't have Wine Wednesday. So, but in general, I would say I probably have about a bottle a week.
I'm still waiting for my invitation on what bottle to get what Wednesday and then join you so I can match bottles.
We're doing that. Let's do it. I just got to give you the thing.
Yeah, you got to tell me what to get, what to pick up. Well, I want to have the same thing so we get the same feedback. So you just tell me. There's a huge wine selection at all the stores around me. So
this is not a SpaceBro Show.
No,
you guys tricked me. It's not a SpaceBro Show. This is an intervention. And you guys invited
me. Something like that. No. But as long as $20 or less, I'm good. We can do it one night and see what's up. That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Well, hopefully this will make your week better, awesome. And all that stuff. I've seen you've been obviously still jamming on Star Citizen all we can when you can and stuff like that. So other than that, have you played anything else this week other than Star Citizen?
Who are we talking to?
You.
Oh, no, I haven't played almost anything. Like, I played Star Citizen on Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
And then I didn't even play Star Citizen today. I just watched videos. So I've played Star Citizen once this week. And I have a couple other games I want to play. I know you guys have been playing some other games. But I just haven't gotten around to it. So
Rebel Galaxy Outlaws, amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I played it one evening. Yeah,
it's really good. All right. Let's go over to Toy real quick, and we'll talk to see what.
Okay. Sorry, I was gonna say, like, everybody's saying I'm super quiet.
All right.
But I don't know.
I don't know. You sound okay to me, but I'm hearing.
Okay. Right. Yeah, but I had the zone. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, if I can mime my way through.
It's
whatever.
registering here.
Okay. All right. No problems.
I could try to turn them up, guys, but I don't know.
Just make me so I'm the loudest.
You guys just argue in chat on whether you can hear them or not.
Okay.
We'll let them argue about it a while. All right, Toy. How's your week been, buddy?
Week's been good. I didn't stream as much as I wanted to this past week. And, I was going to stream earlier today. And then I ended up getting up earlier than usual and actually catching some of the Star Citizen live. So I ended up just not streaming because it was Jay Lee. Jay Lee being Jay Lee.
I haven't been able to watch Star Citizen live in a while. I'm super jealous.
I don't think I've watched one of them live yet. I think I've always had to go back
at like 2 in the afternoon. It was still on. I couldn't believe it.
Just hasn't worked out in my schedule, but definitely, Toy. Welcome back to the show, because I think it's the first show that you 3 have been back on now, because we had their first one last week, so this is number 2, I think. Yes, this is number 2.
Yeah,
so this is 2,
it's 2 in a row.
episode 2 for the season.
Episode 2 for the season, right? There you
Yeah,
go.
we'll just call it this is the new season. We're getting ready, geared up for the fall season. So
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
like, what is it, like August, and it's like our second episode?
I
of
don't
the year?
know. People asked me the other day what season we're on for SpaceBro Show. I was like, I don't even know if like we ever had seasons because we've been doing this for years now. Me and Toy have been doing this for I don't even know how many years we've been doing this. So it's been a while.
We're on basketball season because there's a basketball court.
Oh my god,
In the
something
ending.
like that. Yeah, absolutely. Scorpion, how's your week been,
Season
buddy?
4. Week was good. Work was pretty chill. Streamed a little Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, which was fun. The soundtrack's amazing.
Oh my god.
And I had a lot of fun playing 8-ball. So it was
You
pretty
get
cool.
lost in pool in that game. You could play pool for like hours. It's like virtual pool simulator. I'm like,
I hear that some people have.
I think I did
hated it
both
at
on
first.
stream and off
Hated
stream.
yeah.
It
Do you think pool is going to be like that in Star Citizen?
I hope
it's better.
Well,
maybe even better.
I hope it's if they take that model and they make it where we could do multiplayer on pool, I'll be 100% into it.
Can you like jump the balls and stuff in the game? Like a boom.
Yes. If you hold control down, you can put spin on it. And I was doing some wicked shots, like going around and like doing some stuff that I would never be able to do in real life.
Throw them at people to like take them out in case you get surprised.
That's a Star Citizen only trait.
I'm thinking Star Citizen will probably do that. Yeah.
For the immersion, right? For the immersion.
Star Citizen is going to capitalize on you'll be able to do nothing with the objects you can pick up except just throw them at each other. That's going to be the one skill set you have because everything we see as a preview, it's like, look, I could pick this up and I could just throw it. I'm like, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, but yeah, good. Outside of that, just trying to survive Star Citizen, PTU, and PU. And it's been rough, really. I will say, for me anyway. But, yeah. I think we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. I think it's just one of those things in the development cycle. A lot of people are calling 2019 a baby version of 2017. And I don't think from the outside player viewpoint, that's too far off. I think that's pretty accurate.
Well, the problem is and we knew this had to happen. Yeah. But at the start of 2019, they made the new roadmap that basically married all of Squadron 42 with or all Star Citizen stuff with Squadron 42 because they want to focus on getting Squadron 42 done, polished, and everything. Because remember at the very beginning of the year and the last year or whatever, they had 2 totally different roadmaps for Squadron 42 and for Star Citizen. And then they went and had their big powwow meetings at the beginning of the year and changed the roadmaps so they matched Squadron 42 all year long. Yeah. So that's why we're really not getting anything huge, just because it's all Squadron 42.
But that's fine. But I agree with Mitt though, and I think this is what you said is that it's kind of like a baby 2000s. It's there's not a lot
just
of
from our perspective, it's not necessarily that I'm never going to say they're not doing anything because we know they're busting their ass and they're working their butt off and all that stuff.
Yeah. I know, and I agree. But the thing is like 2017, they weren't sitting on their hands either.
No,
right?
they weren't.
They were working on stuff. So it's similar in that regard. I just think that a lot of the work that they're doing is like below the surface iceberg work that we just can't see. And that sucks, but whatever, that's the part of life.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I do get a little bit concerned when I don't see any gameplay progress, but we all know all the reasons why. And they've been pretty transparent on like why different gameplay features haven't been put in the game yet. But gosh, I want those gameplay features. I don't know. They need to find some workarounds to like put some of that in there or something. Because my question is now, not to get all initiated in this, I didn't plan on doing this yet, but I just it needs some sort of gameplay stuff. It needs something forward progress on that.
Yeah. We got bounty hunting.
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
I don't know. We have it. It works because it's in the game. They said
we've had by that perspective. We've had bounty hunting in since we've had 2.0.
But
right?
It's really broken. I was trying to do it today, and I was literally just quantuming back and forth between Delamar and Crusader, and that takes a long time now. So it's like the quantum simulator at this point, which is unfortunate.
But I mean, we need the multi-crew. We need some, just something symbiotic to get on with your friends and do some stuff with. And been talking a lot about those type of relationships. Hopefully they can find some different gameplay elements they can in the current set. I know everything contention on OCS. It's on server meshing. All these things need to happen for us to move forward on these gameplay elements. But it gets disheartening. It does a little bit.
If they put a working pool table in, then people will stop trying to fly the ships and just play pool.
Yes, because it's something they can do together successfully, hopefully.
Right. And it'll be fun.
Yeah. So on a lighter note, before we get into the weekly review section of the show, let's go over here and let's talk about our friend of the show and friend of the community, Tyler Whitkin. It's Whitkin, but yes. Xylo, our buddy Xylo, he actually is now officially titled as Director of Community, which is long overdue in my opinion. I think this is awesome because I mean Xylo has always been the most active person that I've seen directly engaging the community across the last 2 years. I mean, I've seen him just occasionally mind stream, but more than that, I've seen him. He's out there when any other streamers out there and really active. Anybody bring a new population or a new community to this thing, he's out there and interacting with them. He's helping out. And he's always watching, even if you don't know he is.
He came over to mine the other day and played some Star Marine with us. So
that
was awesome.
I love it, man.
He's a director doesn't mean we're gonna follow his directions as the community.
I just gotta shake my head at CIG, man. Their titles change like once every 2 months.
Yeah. And my thing is with these things, what my hope is with these titles, these guys are getting more responsibilities that really suit them well, because for example, Jared, he's really good at making like a lot of the video content and trying to put things together, even though, his hands are tied in many areas with the lack of gameplay features putting out there. He can't really do it, but that man does what we do 4 times better than I ever could. He takes nothing and makes something out of it on a very continual basis, and he does it in a good quality content way. Because let's be honest, he literally has nothing to work with on many weeks, just like we do.
We don't know technically. He says that, and I'm not trying to get like super aggressive towards that. I mean, I think that he's an amazing job, and I think he's entertaining, and like what he presents well.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want somebody who will fight for more content to show us. And I'm not saying that he's tied or not tied. I have no idea. But I just think that the community needs a little bit more than what we're getting. And I don't know. I'm not trying to point fingers necessarily at Disco, but I'm just saying like we need something, right? So I don't want to anyways.
Well, and I
need some Ben leaks.
yeah. Disco needs to mess up some more. Needs some leaks. Like what happened to the leaks of the old yesteryear? Come on now. But no, I think hopefully we'll see. I'm hoping to see some more things with the community engagement as, Xylo goes into this new role or whatever. I'm hoping it's not just a title of like, hey, this is what I'm already doing. I'm hoping like maybe there's some new stuff in the works. Maybe they're going to give him some new responsibility to make those choices and how to engage the community in different ways. And that'd be great. Yeah,
absolutely.
I 100%, whether Jared or anybody ever will admit it, I believe the content he presents, he does fight tooth and nail to show. Because I just don't think they will let him show much, and I think he just pushes and pushes to get out what he can. I really just
think that they, not him necessarily. We need to get. I don't know what it is, but I need to push for more of that.
Chris,
I don't know.
Chris, let Jared show us everything. Come on.
Not everything. Just
most things.
Just a little bit more.
Well, this is supposed to be open development. What are they keeping all these secrets for?
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't want us to know how they make the cheese whiz.
So surprising.
But I'm not saying reveal the story. I mean, the script's already out there for most of the stuff and all that, right? But
I'm sure that's been rewritten a little bit. But it's not that. They've literally said multiple times, and I don't think it's a truth, but even Disco says it. He's like, oh, we can't show more stuff because the developers are busy. That's not an excuse. They're not wanting to show us content because of like they want to keep stuff surprise. I'm totally on board with that, right? But not showing us content because developers are busy. We're like I mentioned it earlier. It's like so like imagine you take a developer like 2 hours a week, right? There's like 500 people at the company, more than 500 people. Yeah. That's like less than 1,000th of their like man hours. Yes, that's a lot of like still a lot of time, but it's what makes the money. It brings the hype. You know what I mean? Like that's got to be worth 1,000th of your effort, right? To like bring more hype. I don't know.
Well, unless the 10 people they have available are the janitorial staff, and that's what you're going to get for content. It's like, well,
no, that's true.
Here it is.
Anyways, it's easy to be a critic, and I'm not trying to be like super critical, but I don't know.
We want more. We're greedy because we want more. I mean,
I don't think wanting more than Inside Star Citizen and Star Citizen Live is greedy at this point. I think
I think it's, and we talked about this. Yeah, we talked a little bit about this last week. I feel like the third show that's really missing is just a community engagement show, and literally having like somebody play the game on the stream. It doesn't have to be a full breakdown on like all these fancy pictures and stuff. How many people loved it when like you had just like Jay Lee playing the game and talking to people and doing that stuff with Jared and stuff there? You could do that with anybody, you know? You could do that. You could have Xylo on there, all this stuff. You don't need all that. I just think you need that little bit of community engagement. Yeah. And I went on a little tirade about it last show, but I know Chris is busy, but Chris could at least just do like a 10 for the chair forum post or something. Yeah. Like every other CEO.
Anytime Chris shows his face, everybody like this is like.
If the CEO of Bethesda, if I'm just gonna say this, if the CEO of Bethesda, who's been doing regular like AMAs,
Bethesda.
Whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean, English majors, whatever. But anyway, if he can take time to do it, if Elon Musk can take time to tweet, then like I think Chris Roberts could take some time in his day to do stuff. And I know everybody says, well, Chris writes too much. No, well, that's not my problem. You know, reel it in and time yourself. Put an egg timer out there. I know he's got one. Yeah. He's an 80s kid.
It sucks for us that have been following this from day one because we used to have so much stuff. Like every day we get a video or something like that. And now it's, you know, barely twice a week, you know?
Well, they're busy.
Yeah. But we get a 9 or 10 minute video on Thursday. And then, of course, we get our hour on Friday. But
yeah, I agree with I agree with you. There's probably a lot of valid reasons to not make a ton of video content. Yep. A lot of them are probably revolve around one, they're doing a lot of back end work, or two, they're doing Squadron 42 stuff they don't want to show us, or three, they're holding surprises for CitizenCon they don't want to reveal yet. A lot of those things are all valid reasons to hold that content, but we're too busy to do it isn't to me a valid reason, because you're a crowdfunded group of like people. You literally like we're talking about one person or two people, like a few hours a week that you pull away to make content. Maybe I'm not right about that, but it's just like that's not a high percentage. You're not going to like miss your deadlines because you like taking 1,000th of your manpower away from development of the game, you know? So I don't know, whatever.
Hire more people, do the content. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, do whatever. I mean, you say you're already looking for 90 people. I guess get 2 more people to help make content for videos and stuff.
Why is he cutting out now?
I don't know.
I'm cutting out on Discord, but not to stream.
Yeah, not us. Yeah.
Oh,
so that's Discord's bull crap.
We don't need to hear your voice.
No, you don't. As long as the beautiful Twitch people can hear me.
As long as they can hear us, then we're not cutting out. That would be.
You know, and I get here's the thing, and this is the thing, and I know I see like people saying, you know, they're fine with them focusing on the game and all that stuff, and I do. I want them to focus on the game. I'm not asking the guy who's working in the engineering section to develop the net code for server meshing to come on, you need to make a video, buddy. I'm like, I don't care.
I want that video.
Yeah, they've done that video. But my thing too is I just feel like I don't see the progress on that end. And it's a lot of people are starting to say more and more on Reddit and inside the forums and stuff, and they're not seeing the progress on the gameplay side or on these feature sets. And I understand it takes time and everything, but the fact that we don't really get any update on like what's happening on that side, and it's like, hey, they're working on it, bro. That's cool. But 12 months later, I feel like they're working on it, bro. I'm like, I start to get a little bit more worried about it. I'm like, because that at some point, if they reach an impasse, is that that's going to change the gameplay feature, right? Like if the gameplay features we're waiting on are contingent on this technology and you're not able to progress and accomplish the technology, what's that mean? Do you just wait forever?
Yeah,
I have to use the bathroom for some reason now. I don't know why.
I wonder why. So that plus the fact that like we know they have like Tony Z is like locked away in a closet somewhere, furiously writing on blackboards and whiteboards and figuring all this stuff out on how everything's going to work. And he's brilliant. And every time he speaks, it's amazing to hear. But why can't we get more from that? Why can't they update the gameplay design documents? Why can't they tell us how things are going to work when they get these things in? Because that would hold us over.
Yep.
No, I agree. Like, look at me. My two biggest complaints about video content in the year of 2019, our savior or whatever, is that we don't have Dan Truffin or Tony Zervik or these people who like literally just put them in front of a camera and just unscripted, and it'll be the most interesting, entertaining thing we've heard all year.
We'll all drool and we'll love them again and throw money at them, and it'll be crazy. Yes, if they just did that.
The only reason to not put Dan Truffin in front of a camera is because you don't want him to reveal something that you want to reveal later.
Well, and also I'm just saying, at what point? I mean, if they're really close to breaking the code or something like that, I mean, how do you judge that? You know what I mean? First off, like, how do you judge that you're really close to accomplishing server meshing so you can do this? I don't know. I'm not a programmer, so I don't know, like, when you're trying to invent something and make it work in your engine, at what point you're like, oh, that don't work. Oh, that doesn't work either. Oh, this doesn't work either.
Well, you kind of have an idea, like when it comes to software development, like yes, as the unknowns, and I'm not saying I understand server meshing at all, but like,
I don't understand software development, so you're ahead of me.
Right, yeah. So, but like you basically sit down, and you say, hey, here's our general goal, something we're trying to accomplish, and then if you're the architect of that goal, you'd look at it and you'd say, okay, what are the unknowns? What are the things that I absolutely don't know how to do? What are the things I do know how to do? You can kind of scope and say this is like a couple, like 10 hours or a month or a week worth of work for the stuff you do know. Then you're gonna have to like do some investigation POC for the stuff you don't know, and you'd probably try to pursue the stuff you don't know and solve it at the front end of your like development project, so that way you can get the unknowns taken care of and not deal with them at the end. So in that regard, you usually do know the scope of work that needs to be done somewhere through the project, because you've either tackled your unknowns and created tasks and work that are probably like in proof of concepts and kind of scope that out, or you haven't, right? If they're still at the unknown stage for server side like OCS or server meshing, and we're getting ready to like launch into like microtech at this point, that's like a high risk, and they might be there still, but my assumption is that they've done.
But how do we know, Toy?
And they have that kind of stuff figured out. And once you do, you can create the tickets for it, and you have a sense of estimated effort and what remaining work would be. You can start estimating it at that point.
But at this point in the project, and I'm fine with
letting they tested this on a small scale.
Okay.
Before they try and implement it.
But there's some things that test on a small scale that won't translate to a large scale, right? And that's just part. That's part of the risk involved with it.
No, not really, because everything else is sitting on top. The object container streaming, server meshing, that's all back-end stuff. You don't have to have anything else on top. If the back-end stuff works, they can just slap everything else on top.
Yeah.
Well,
so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, it's easy to be sit on the outside and judge, and I'm not trying to be all like that, but I think they do have quite a bit done probably when it comes to OCS. Didn't they even mention though that they were basically done with the OCS stuff?
The client side, they have the server side OCS.
No, I think they announced that they talked about server side OCS is basically more or less. I thought there was implied somewhere in one of their articles.
There's a lot of implied. There's a lot of things saying, hey, we know the solution, just takes time to work on it. But the thing is, this is stuff I heard at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Right? This is stuff before we went to CitizenCon, I heard.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm not saying, hey, if it's going to take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, I don't care. That's whatever. I'm down for that. But I think just if it's open development, we just need some more updates on that. I don't think they need to do a whole video and all that stuff. We don't see any gameplay progress, and they say it's because of these other features in tech. at what point do you say, okay, well, we're going to have to change what these gameplay features are, or we're going to have to do it in a different way because we're hitting a roadblock? I mean, do they just keep banging their head against the wall, or maybe they're not banging their head against the wall? They're just leaving us to totally throw conjecture and see what sticks, right? Because we don't know.
I mean, unfortunately, based on kind of the way they have tended to kind of go about things, I would unfortunately be a little more pessimistic there that they would, because look, it's pretty natural with engineers, right? That you believe that you can accomplish this, and so you're going to keep pushing, keep pushing, and you're going to not want to have to make the realization finally that you're not going to be able to. So you keep pushing for a long time until you get right on that edge or past that edge, right? And then you have to kind of finally realize you're not going to make it, just like they did with that Squadron 42 vertical slice, right? Like right up until the very end, like they were like still pushing like they're going to make it, even though anybody from the outside would have easily said they're not gonna. So we're not going to know until they've already used up all the time they think they're gonna need, and then finally realize it's not going to happen, and then have to shuffle the deck chairs around and try and do things. So I think that's just the way it is.
And some of this gameplay elements that we're waiting for, they're not going to be able to fully test or create and do everything they need to do until they have the server side to support it, because they don't know how it's going to function entirely. They know how they want it to work in game, but they still have to engineer that around whatever they put in, right?
Right. Yep.
So, because we went through this too when they had to recode everything, right? When they went through and recoded stuff and all that, they're like, we know how we want it to work, but once they switched engines, then they had to recode and itemize, and then they had item detail and item tag, all the stuff. So everything was there. Stuff that you would normally do when you first run the game, but because of the changing dynamics of what the game platform was on and everything else, they had to go through and do all this extra work.
Right. And again, I'm also assuming like there is like, so let's say you like find a way to architect and build server-side OCS, or you find a way to architect server meshing or something like that. I bet the ramifications of that, like, oh, we've done it, we built it, we understand how to build it, there's no more unknowns. The amount of refactor work you may have to do, that I'm assuming across every single piece of the game, right, could be insanely large. Right? Like,
I would imagine it would be.
Where 90% of the work could be in refactoring and retesting and regression testing. Like, you changed. Like, it took you like 3 weeks to implement OCS.
I am like waiting for them. I'm waiting for them to say server meshing and OCS is done. And just like what we had when they redid all the items before, and they had to put item ID tags to say, okay, this isn't the same thing. Every item is an individual item in the universe. And we went through months of them refactoring all that. I'm waiting for them to say we have a new ID tag we have to put in order to track every object across the universe in multiple instances to slide through servers and meshing on the fly and auto load. You know what I mean? Because that'll happen. Something like that'll happen. That's just the way it'll go. And it's just a known factor. It has to. Because you might know what you need to do to implement it, but you still have to go through the motions of doing it.
Yeah, no, actually, there's a lot of busy work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If you read the Squadron 42 update, the email they sent out a few days ago, they even mentioned that in there, that they're putting hero tags now on the ships. So those act differently, I guess, than just normal ships. So.
Yep, we have the roadmap for Squadron 42 up as well here, just now that you mentioned that.
I have not looked at the roadmap.
The roadmap for Squadron 42, I will say, is probably the most straightforward thing in the world. Because after looking at for now years, the roadmaps of Star Citizen in conjecture there, everything, moves and shifts and all that stuff. I feel like Squadron 42 feels so much more like a regular project where you see, okay, these are the tasks we have to have. We know what we need to do, and we're executing deliverables. Whereas everything else is like we're inventing stuff, and we're trying to make it happen. Because
they've said that a while back, that there's still like 80% R&D in Star Citizen.
Oh, for sure. It's an R&D project. It is not. Yeah. I still won't classify this as game development until they have every engine, every tool built they need to make happen what happens. It will be classified in my mind as an R&D project, because in R&D, you're going to have failures. You're going to have things that don't work. You're going to have to find workarounds, and there's no timeline you can detach that. You can put timeline on R&D based on finances and the fact that your client's only willing to wait X, and the fact that we're willing to wait forever and we're willing to throw money at the wall. They have none of those parameters, which just melts my brain. My project management brain is like, I don't understand this, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to sound hyperbolic, but if you're not failing, you're not innovating usually. So you're going to be.
Absolutely. You're not going to make any progress if you're not trying things and seeing what works, what doesn't, and all that stuff. So, but there were several mentions, and we've seen it come up before, like we were saying, where people are just really starved for gameplay elements, and they're getting concerned because they're not seeing these percentages on gameplay elements progress. I will applaud CIG for at least trying to hold to their timelines of like, hey, if it doesn't meet the deliverable date, we slide it forward. That started to falter a little bit towards summer here.
They're moving towards the continuous deployment model. They're just like, whatever, when it's ready, we'll push it in regardless.
Yeah, they're kind of moving the goalposts on that because we're supposed to have the drop of the build, boom, and then anything that didn't make it, it was supposed to jump to the next thing. That's not happening. They're not.
No, they're doing feature releases again instead of actually holding to this is what's done now. It's going in and everything else is just going to wait. Because look, with the 890 jump, I know everybody wants it in, but if we just look at where we are now, we're in the middle of August.
Yeah, we're like already
3.7's due out at the end of September. Okay,
and halfway. So, like in an ideal world, 3.7 hits Evocati probably in like 4 weeks or something, 5 weeks.
Yeah. So they should have just pushed it, and I know nobody wants to hear it. They should have pushed it and say, "Hey, it's coming out this next build." Because I think here's what they're starting to get on a slippery slope of. They're like, "Hey guys, well, I know we said we'd drop what we have at the build date, but there's not much shit in that build date." So now they're going back to, like you said, Scorpion. If they don't have enough features to make Chris and everybody happy. Then they're like, well, we're going back to feature release, which in my mind, if you go feature release, you're feature creep. Like it's hand in hand almost with that.
So look, here's the problem with that though, right? So supposedly there are these new features in the game now, right? But if you can't play it, it doesn't make any difference, right? If the missions don't work and if things don't work, it doesn't matter what those features supposedly are. Then you would have been better off spending your time polishing to some degree what you have so that people can actually play it.
And I feel like PTU is starting to become meaningless. What's the difference between PTU and PU really now? I mean, I feel like it's just
money. We get more money in PTU.
But I feel like for us, but I feel as far as game development schedule and everything, the whole PTU, PU thing, everything's just kind of like buzzwords now. Like they're just kind of, So, I mean,
buzzword pillars.
Yeah.
That's their new.
Well, that's not new. That was last year, right? All about the pillars. And everybody's like, I want a pillar show now. And I'm like, those pillars they announced at CitizenCon last year were absolute BS in my mind because like that was so different than what they had said in previous years. And I get that's perspective of Chris. And we did a whole show on this before we wrapped it up last year. But the pillar talk stuff, I get what he says is like, that's how we'll gauge where we're at. You gauge where you're at based on how many people are interacting, playing the game, how many of your gameplay features you have scope for your entire game, how many of those are in and ready to go, and where you're at to be in a live, persistent state of the universe, whether that's alpha, beta, release, or whatever. And I sat there in Austin, and as much as I enjoyed everybody's stuff and all that stuff, I didn't really like the whole pillar thing. I didn't like this is our perception of what we've done, because according to what they said during that pillar video, and anybody should go back and watch it, we're over halfway done with what they thought we would need to do for the release date. There was more pillars done already than were upcoming. And I was like, what?
I know. What they think of, like, I understood the high level, like you have to read between the lines with this idea of, okay, we get persistence in, we get these other things in, like those, I don't know, I think we're talking about the same thing, but anyways, those are really important to go beta or to go live effectively, but they didn't mention anything about gameplay of like you have to have bounty hunting or farming or like I don't know, medical gameplay. Like none of that was considered part of the like go live timeline.
No, it had nothing to do with it.
You can't consider yourself live if you don't have those, right? But maybe in their mindset it was like, the question is, will the community accept that? No. Well, you have to be able to play it, right? You have to be able to play it where it doesn't feel like a grind.
Well, it's arguably in the mind of Chris Roberts right now, the game is playable. I mean, he said it in multiple iterations.
It is.
No, I know.
I don't want to say it's
not
playable, but
but it's really not. I'm going to say it's not playable. Right? It's just like I tried to do bounty missions today, and a couple kind of worked, but then a lot of them just disappeared. And then you spend I spent 80% of the stream just quantuming around trying to get from place to place. And then afterwards, it was like all we did was quantum the whole time. Yeah. And so that takes way too long, but that's a whole separate conversation. Yeah. But so I don't know to what extent that they actually know or believe that the features they've been adding, right, like the law system and all this stuff, which could be great, is actually not playable.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they have to know, right? But yet somehow you think that maybe they just don't know. Like even something as simple as like missiles, like from like a ballista, like how they don't usually damage or blow up the ship you hit. You're like, oh, check out this amazing thing we just put in the game. It's like gonna destroy things, and one missile is supposed to take out a Drake Cutlass, and you're like, okay, cool, show me. Have you tried launching a missile at a Drake Cutlass? Have you seen what it does to the Drake Cutlass?
And even go ahead, Toy.
Anyways,
here's the quick thing with that though, and this goes to the Evocati broader testing spectrum. When they test that shit locally, most of the time it works perfectly. But when they start adding more and more people, things just start breaking, like they don't even know why type of thing. You know what I mean? And it might have been working perfectly in their little small test environment. So they released it out, and now it's not working. You know, the bounty system's not working at all for anybody.
Yeah, and so I agree though, like in a sense that like I'm not like being salty because I love playing the game as it is. I don't know, obviously Scorp seems like he's not quite on the same page as me, but I love playing the game as it is. But I wouldn't call it like playable like as a game, like as you'd expect, right? Like the idea of everything's fine, guys, we're like better than X, Y, and Z game, right? No, like you're not a AAA game right now. You're not like the best damn space sim ever kind of game yet, right? Like I feel like you're alive when you meet up to the expectations, and I know which have unfortunately been built up to such a high degree that you'll probably never live up to the expectations. But you're live when you have the best damn space sim game ever. Like that's when you go say, oh, we did it, we accomplished our goal.
I also don't. Here's the only topic that like really bothered me about the pillars in relation to everything is what they base the judgment of. Okay, it's ready to deliver the game, right? I don't like the items they cited as, hey, they're ready for this game to be delivered. I would hope they'd make it longer, and they would have said, we want these gameplay features in, like what you were saying, Luke. I'd like to see, hey, medical in. Hey, this stuff in too. So why the pillars are important, I feel like they're okay, we can accomplish this. So this is when it's ready to be delivered, and then everything else can come when it comes. And I'm like, but the game won't be fun then. Yeah. It's fun because we make it fun, but I don't feel like it's even close to, because they'll get so skewed by everybody. Everybody will skewer them badly because it'd be like, oh, well, you don't have this in, we didn't have this isn't there. You don't have a gameplay cycle where you can have transport, economy, combat, capturing something, and then have that whole economic cycle of war, resupply, resource gathering, all that stuff. It's not even a blip in there. I mean, everybody's like, well, you can go mine.
It's not a game with two game mechanics, which is mining and cargo transport. That's it.
Yeah. Like mining has to have a purpose, and protecting mining ships have to have a purpose, and pirating has to have a purpose, and hunting pirates as bounty hunters has to have a purpose, right? They all have to tie into each other to create value for each other, and they're not there yet, whatever. But it'll be a live game when they have vineyards and winemaking.
I like what Lemon Grab said. He said, it's fun because we make it fun is the defense of Fallout 76 to use the call. I'm like, because I really wanted to like Fallout 76, and they're adding a lot of stuff now that's going to make it better, the Fallout 76. But
there should not be a game built in 2019 that has loading screens. And the fact that you have to go from outside to load inside a building in Fallout 76 just ruins the whole game for me.
Ruined the whole game for me. The fact you ran around and you didn't really have an AI interaction that was relevant. When all the preceding games of Fallout, you had that. You could go out and do stuff. Yeah, it was multiplayer. That's great. But you didn't have, the world felt really empty. It felt like Star Citizen.
Yeah.
I'm
going to like continue to give CIG the benefit of the doubt when it comes to gameplay in Star Citizen right now. That one, they're probably bottlenecked. They can't put anything new in the game until they get server side OCS and server meshing. Even gameplay's loops are somewhat limited without that. That's my benefit of the doubt that I'm kind of throwing right now. It sucks that they have to continue to work on that. I'm going to blame most of the existing bugs on server gameplay issues where it just doesn't have enough memory or because of server side OCS or server meshing, right? So the fantasy of mine is they get server side OCS and server meshing generally done to like a 95% degree sometime here this year, and then magically we just see content and gameplay just wham, like grow on the oh wow, I got like my own custom.
You did. You're hot there for a minute, so we had to do it. I didn't have a little hot meter go up.
But yeah, that's a new feature. Anyway, you just see like the leaves sprout on the branches of this like amazing game that they've built. You know, I don't know, whatever, the fruit of our labor or whatever. That's all gonna come hopefully like very, very soon. As soon as that happens, that's my hope. Maybe I'm super optimistic about that though.
I think that's possible. I mean, if you look now, it's very obvious that the servers are completely overloaded and they just can't possibly handle things, and it impacts a lot of things that you see client side. So, and I understand that too. I'm just saying that right now it's a chore to try and go in and try and do things because they even the stuff that you think should possibly work just doesn't. And you can't tell from one day to another or one server to another server what it's going to be that's not working or that is working.
No, absolutely. And I'm on board with you on that regard as well. So it's like, one, I enjoy the game as it is. I understand the bugs. I love the bugs and the game all like as it is. Like it's ugly, but it's my baby. Yeah. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing.
I'm with you 100% on that. I will say though, like Langdon's down there said after Squadron 42, then SC will explode. SC will not explode if they don't fix server meshing and OCS. That's what's holding it back. Has nothing to do with Squadron 42. Squadron 42, I'm super excited about. I'm really hyped to play it. It will not be in our hands for another year, maybe two, but
no, it'll be out next year.
It maybe Citizen Con next year would be the earliest possible. But I'm excited, really excited for that. But if they have that and they haven't moved the goalpost on the game forward or done anything, and they got to move the chains on what's happening right now, or you'll build up all this hype with Squadron 42, but it would have been totally wasted on MMO. Because if you don't have the potential of like having something to fight over, or these other gameplay features like medical gameplay or salvaging and all these other things in there, I don't know. I think the biggest thing I'm looking forward to right now is the personalized inventories, right? In the game. That's interesting. Well, I mean, it'll hopefully open up options of taking your stuff, taking other people's stuff, doing something.
Limitations right now, creating more limitations in the game creates gameplay, so I think that could be fun. Absolutely. But I wanted to make one more point, which is that like as Scorpion was kind of saying, I think that it's like, I understand the game's current state, like as it is. It's not quite a game, it's super buggy, and I'm totally accepting of that. What I don't like though is when CIG pretends like the game is playable and also better than like normal games that are already out. It's not the case, right? It's like like, we understand you're still in development, and I accept the game as it is today, but don't pretend like you're like somehow better than playable games that are already out there and purchasable. It's not.
Right.
I was so upset yesterday. I got my reclaimer out, and I hadn't had my reclaimer out in a while. I could not get in the damn thing. Couldn't get on the elevator. Couldn't take the small elevator. Every time I finally was able to EVA and get in through one of the side entrances up top. Got in the seat, and as soon as I got out of the seat, I fell right out the window.
Yeah.
So sometimes, though, I will admit, sometimes the workarounds you have to do to try and do things that should normally be really simple are half the fun.
Yeah, of course.
But, it's just, I don't know. It just is what it is.
What's fun for us as content creators, but I try to rule all that out of it. I try to look at it from a perspective of, I want my buddies to play this game, and I want to play it with them and go into the game and do that. Can I do that at this stage? And the answer is repeatedly no, I can't. I could go and try to goof around and do something, whatever, streamer-wise, but I could not go in here and do something with the game. It's not ready for that yet. I would like to see it start to move towards that path. And I don't feel like it's any more ready today for me to get 6 of my friends to play other games, like when we were playing Atlas or any of those things. It's not
Atlas
going to.
that?
Yeah, it's got ships in it. It's cool. But it's like when I can do all that, it's like we have all these ships, all this backing, we've done all this game. But I'm right now, I can actually load into Rebel Galaxy Outlaw and have more fun than I can in Star Citizen.
Okay.
You can play a game. I think, and I mean, Luke's right. I mean, part of the trap is actually buying into what CIG keeps saying, right? That you can actually play these game features, and when you try to, it becomes extremely frustrating because you really can't, because they're broken in some way.
Nope.
And so what you have to do is realize that you can't do that, and then certainly as a streamer, you have to do other things, right, that aren't really gameplay that you can do in there. But when you get caught like in that in-between thing where it's like, oh, I can actually try and do some of these gameplay things now, and it doesn't work, it gets really frustrating.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you always got to remember, and this is why I always try, like I said, I always try to put it from perspective of just like a regular gamer. We can find things entertaining that normal people can't because we have an audience of people to joke about. It's like when your car breaks down and you're with 8 of your buddies, and you're like, it's like, oh, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. You can still, kind of get over it. But if you're out in the desert by yourself and your car breaks down, that effing sucks, bro. I mean, that's, and that's the way I feel, because I played Star Citizen 3 times last week, not on stream and stuff like that, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it was so frustrating.
Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
and it's gotten so bad that actually when I see new features coming out, they're like, oh, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, right? And it's coming out. I actually don't get excited for the features for what they actually are. I get excited for going, how am I going to be able to incorporate that into kind of like my thing, right? Like, oh, can I like turn that into a weird game on the side? Because I know the feature itself won't actually work. So you're constantly like, well, how can I absorb the pieces of the feature that I know probably will be there? I don't know.
How many times in the last couple of years have you guys like thought about streaming and you've come up with some weird stuff you're gonna do on stream, and then you were surprised by the feature actually working? I've had that happen before. Yeah, it actually works. So I was like, oh, when this doesn't work, I'm gonna do this and this, and then it actually worked, and I was like, oh. Well, I guess we'll just do the thing then.
Right.
We'll just do it
Speaking
anyway.
of surprise, I don't know if you guys have been in and played Star Marine lately. Now, it's not where it's going to be very soon, but right now it is so much better than it's ever been.
It's the only playable module of the game.
I've heard that, but nobody plays it.
We do.
I play it every night.
We played it a couple times.
You gotta get. We gotta do. Maybe we
but...
should do our SpaceBro weekends and play Star Marine.
Oh, absolutely! I love Star Marine.
Yeah, we can do that.
Now that I know I can beat Phantom Killer pretty much every time.
Oh wow!
Which is good to know.
Yeah. Good to know there. Yeah,
I've been taking lessons for Major Surge, so
I think people got so burnt on the failures of like the bugs in Star Marine previously. Nobody really pays it any attention, and they should go check it out because it is a lot better now. It actually feels like an FPS game. So it's pretty good. All right, let's go into here. Let's go into something a little bit more upbeat that we're all looking forward to. And that is obviously the Inside Star Citizen stuff, and which mostly featured Jay Lee for a lot of his amazing concept art and character art stuff he's doing.
What's an ECN alert again? I forget.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not an answer.
It's a mission, right? It's a mission type in Star Citizen.
Is that like, well, what is the mission type? I don't do missions.
It's like an emergency beacon something. Somebody asks is wanting
like
help, and you go out and save them. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
So what do you guys think of these character concepts and the dress code stuff they've done here?
I think it looks good, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it looks good for high-end places. I think we need to have like the cowboy bartender outfits too.
Absolutely, you know what I mean? But I agree. I don't think that you need outfits for everything, but I like the change of character, like where there is this kind of like extra flair that you get here. I think the bartender character outfit was they said something along the lines of like, some people in our community were asking for it or something. Jay Lee said, and I think I know who specifically.
Yeah, you can almost look at specific people. It's like,
like Paul, are you the one pushing for this?
I feel like I've been in a restaurant where there was like people dressed like this. It might have been something an Eastern
like
restaurant.
Benihana's.
Yeah, didn't it?
Yeah, almost kind of looks a little about
It's like
that.
a
Also looks
spaceship
like
Benihana's.
if I were gonna mix like a chef and a Jedi or something, maybe I don't know.
How would that work? Would all your food be
looks like
instantly cooked? By
Yeah,
lightsaber, it's like you could never have
seared
sushi.
tuna.
You could never have
You could
sushi.
seared tuna.
That hat reminds me of like an old stewardess hat. So
Oh yeah, from the
vibes I get.
God, yeah.
But I do like the concepts. They're really.
Yeah,
I like the color schemes too. I think
so. This is the part I don't get. No, I mean you guys can like correct me if I'm wrong, but bounty hunter like costumes. I understand we're gonna have bounty hunters in the verse in the sense that you're gonna want these iconic bounty hunters, maybe even Boba Fett-esque bounty hunters, but bounty hunters aren't armor type. You know, it's not like I'm going to the bounty hunter store and I'm going to get my bounty hunter gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
you're
just going to wear whatever you want to wear, whatever armor you think is important to wear for whatever you're trying to do.
And you're trying to go for your own look, right? Like just like whatever you want to put together.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to create that scene though, you know, like what you're referring to, like the whole Jabba the Hutt thing. Like you have this mix of bounty hunters and those type of things in a group. And that's why I feel like they're doing. This is why I didn't get. I didn't get the winter gear.
Yeah,
well, because Microtech's a frozen planet, you won't be wearing a spacesuit out there.
But you are. You're wearing a helmet. Like, is that a spacesuit or just a?
That's not a helmet. That's just like it's like that bag you wear, and
Well, I don't know. It looks very helmety,
but it's not real.
And it does look very helmety. But second of all, if it's not a helmet, it's like this implies gameplay that I think has been announced but hasn't been really fleshed out, which is temperature management.
Yeah, are we gonna have to deal with that?
Will you die on Microtech eventually if you're not wearing warm enough gear outside?
Yeah. That's a good question.
But shouldn't a spacesuit also kind of keep you warm?
Well, it will in space when you don't have convection, when you don't have cold wind blowing against your skin, but it might not keep you warm in the atmosphere if you got like Arctic freeze. You know, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Like, it's a good point. No, that's a valid point.
Well, isn't space colder than Arctic freeze?
Yeah, but
because there's nothing to conduct temperature.
Space is colder, but it's not conductive, so you don't have to like in order to maintain thermal warmth. You don't actually have to have that much to protect you. But if you're like on a surface of a planet with wind blowing by you, that's negative like 30 or 40 degrees, you actually do need more insulation because that convection, that conductive.
I really feel like we need Elon Musk to weigh in on this conversation to get accurate insight.
Luke
like,
is correct because you're in vacuum in space, so there are no atoms or molecules to actually carry temperature from your skin or to your skin or whatever else, right? So it's just like a thermos thing like this, right? It has a vacuum in between, which is what keeps it either warm or cold inside. So inside your spacesuit, in space, you're fine because all that heat stays inside and it's not going to go outside your spacesuit.
Yeah.
But inside the atmosphere, that's correct. It's going to be a whole different story.
So. I have no idea if CIG is planning to go that crazy realistic when it comes to like thermal. Gameplay.
Really, you have no idea when they're planning to go that crazy or not.
But my point is this clothing kind of implies that.
Yes,
a little bit.
Kind of does. Kind of does. Yeah. And you know, if they're gonna, that's cool. I mean, you know,
I hope so.
I'm down with all the immersion. Well, if they can pull it off, go for it.
I'm down with anything that creates like more choice and like reasons to own stuff. Like if you're like, if you literally could wear the same undersuit, like a spacesuit to everything, to a gala, like on some ArcCore like thing, or into the middle of the desert or a lava planet, or like the middle of like Arctic, like Microtech, then you would never buy any other gear. You would just wear the same gear everywhere. You know what I mean?
And that's going to destroy immersion because you're already going to see people running around in their spacesuits everywhere.
Or underwear.
Right? Or underwear or whatever else, right? Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of combat that.
Mm-hmm.
I love how this is like a futuristic beatnik, like shopkeeper thing going on.
flip flops.
Yeah, he's got flip flops on, like, you know.
I'm
like,
not sure what it's supposed to be derived from. I think it's supposed to be based on like India, maybe. I don't know.
India with
no, this
Asian
is
kind of mix,
India.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
the
know. But
turban.
they're trying to show that like the Earth, not just Western America, like went to space, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Which is would probably good. Yeah.
Yes.
There are probably some other people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaylee's looking a little shaggy.
And I like this creepy person. What are these shirts they got going on though that they had? I don't know.
Shirts
Anyways.
you'll never be able to buy.
No.
It said, what did it say? Breathe it in, Lorville.
Yeah. So first of all, they named the
is pretty
plants.
cool.
This the most interesting part about this is the plants' names. This is Proto, I guess.
Proto.
It looks like a brain meets cotton or something.
But this shows you the entire interaction with all objects that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You can pick them up,
Peekaboo.
throw them.
And this is what is it called? This
Throw
one, Anashi or something? Amioshi. And this is actually poop. I'm sorry I said it on your stream, but that's what it is.
That's okay.
This is something. It says dung. It
I
says
feel
like,
moderately offended by you saying that.
and then of course, like I don't know, is this guava on a tree? Anyways,
This was more interesting to me than the poop throwing. The fact that, like, I hope they actually let you mix drinks.
Well, we know that will be in eventually, but from the way they concepted it for the Starlighter, what is it? The Starlighter Genesis, it would be a machine where you had to mix it. You know what I mean?
right. So, but the question is with the go back to the bartender stuff for a second. So, like with the bartending setup, I know that they've already showed off quite a bit of like stuff relating to like NPCs being bartenders and having that interaction. But the question is are they planning on, or is it close to the same thing as allowing people to bartend for their friends? Like you're on your 600i and then you want to make drinks for your friends.
Well, they already made Astropub an outfit. Why not go all in?
Yeah, I know.
mean, because I would like to mix drinks.
I do think their long-term ambition is to allow like regular people to be bartenders, but I'm just not sure if that's part of their consideration here or that's just purely NPC focused. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Inquiring minds want to know. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to at least be able to interact with the bottles for RP reasons, if nothing else, and go through those motions and do that stuff. I think that'd be really cool.
These weapons look good. I don't know if they're powerful or not, but they look amazing.
I hope that spins in the middle. Yeah,
but it's like a one shot.
What do you guys think of the looks on the Banu Defender? I know Toy's been like a huge person waiting on this forever.
For a long time.
Yeah, it looks alien. I like that it looks alien. I like the textures and the lighting. I don't personally like this ship because I don't like the alien ships, but like it adds a lot of character to the verse. Yeah, I think if I saw this on a sci-fi show, I would totally buy into the fact that it was alien and it would be cool looking. I don't know. I expect to see Will Smith and I don't know.
Welcome to Earth. Yeah,
I know.
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like it looks like a pretty big departure from the screens we've seen earlier, though, right?
It seems
of like the Banu stuff.
For a fighter.
No,
it seems like it's got a lot of room inside.
It is not large.
No,
and it doesn't. It is literally just a very small curve, and if you see the person that stands next to it, it's really not much bigger than any of our current fighters.
So this is like they just shot it with a 35 millimeter or something.
They use like some kind of weird tiny camera to make everything look huge.
Make it seem larger.
It's a GoPro.
So it's false marketing, false advertising.
It's a GoPro. The problem I have though, Toy, remember when they first started releasing textures for like the Banu Defender, and they showed on the interior like it looked like it had that sliding cool shield, like it had all those layers of like the shield on the wall. It's like it really was polished. It looks like it's a lot more organic now.
Darker and organic.
Yeah, and I'm like, isn't that more a Van Duel look? I mean, it's got a different color scheme, but I was like, I don't know. I kind of was looking forward to seeing those textures previously like that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It just looks like they changed it quite a bit. But
it does.
I don't know.
I like
it's still
the
cool.
Bony, texture that they've got going on. The organic feel. I think it's going to look good when you get to the Banu Defender. But
I was
just going to be the last texture
different.
pass. I don't think this is the last you're going to see. They tend to, especially the first alien version of any ship they make, or any ship they make. It's going to get a rework at some point.
Yeah, and maybe it's a different region of the ship, but I remember specifically seeing. Yeah, sorry. Little
okay.
News stuff coming through and all that. What was it? Let me find
Important, something.
Oh, I know what it
Bandit
is. I'm just trying to
Defender,
find the
Merchant
thing to
Man.
circle it if I can. But right in here, like this texture pattern on the vent, we saw a lot of cool stuff in the previous screens of the Bandit Defender where it had this type of texture down the hallways and stuff. And like all this type of stuff is all new to me. And I'm not saying it looks bad.
What was the like a while ago? They had like a year ago or something. I don't remember. They showed off alien ships and the lighting and stuff that they were showing off, and it looked amazing. Was one of those this ship, or was it a different ship that they were showing off?
Probably this one.
They were showing some of this ship, and it's this type of stuff I thought looks so slick. Like right here, all this cool, like really machined but polished and smooth stuff.
Back behind the beds.
Yeah. And
where the panels were supposed to be at, were the component panels.
Yeah. But this stuff, I don't like it. Yeah. And this texture on the wall, I don't like it. I mean, I think it looks cool, but I love this stuff. Was amazing to me, and it's just, I feel like they've gone away from
practical. I mean, that's where your space spiders will like make their webs.
I don't think anything's practical on it. I just feel like they've kind of they've changed up a lot, and see this texture here on the wall, how it's ribbed, that alien smooth ribbed look. I love that. I don't get into all this. I don't know what that is, but
reserve judgment till it comes out.
See it. It'll be cool either way. But
we get to see a lot more of these inside. Like, so I'm gonna say a couple things here. One, like in most games and movies, they rarely have to put that much thought into ship design, spaceship design, because they have like 3 or 4 scenes they shoot from. They like, I bet Millennium Falcon didn't really exist as a full model until much more recently. You know what I mean? And to be honest, like even in games, like we rarely even go inside the spaceships. We see the outside of them, and they're very, very rarely detailed that well, right? So it's like here we are with a company that's literally thinking not just through every little detail of the interior of an alien ship and letting you walk around and stare at every tiny little thing and judge it, but like they're making it functional with like components and like, I mean, this is the most fleshed out thing. And it's gonna look like we can pick it apart because it's like, okay, it's missing some stuff. It doesn't look like it's perfect, right? But it's also because they're showing you everything warts and all, which is nothing that any other movie or game really ever does.
I think they just went with a style difference. I don't think I'm not criticizing for being rough for the state of where it's at or anything. I'm just saying I think they went a different style direction on a lot of the ship that I was thinking they were going to go from what they showed. And I preferred the previous one. That's it.
Every once in a while, you really got to go back and shake those guys like you're shaking a baby or something. Because,
whoa.
The Constellation Phoenix, you take the Constellation Phoenix when you got, it's supposed to be a little, mini.
The Space Bros officially do not promote any shaking of babies or any other people's or items or living objects.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that.
And you got the bathroom for the Constellation Phoenix and the crew quarters. And then when you look at the new, and we'll get to it here in a minute with the 890 jump. With the new grotto for their little jacuzzi thing, and he's like, "Oh, you can go back behind this wall and change clothes." And I'm thinking,
that'll never happen.
What? I mean, literally right across the hall is the changing room, and now you're saying you should go behind this little water wall. And
I do like the water wall, though. I do like the water wall.
I do too, but there shouldn't be anything back behind it.
All right. Well, we'll get to that in a second. We're on to that part of the video.
I'll tell you what would blow my mind.
I got more bitches about that.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. How fast that elevator went down makes me smile.
But is it really down fast? Because look, it's not. Right now it's down.
No, I know, but
just the initial part went down.
The room fast.
Yes, it's just like, slow moving things. I think it's just like the Constellation, right? Where you get on the ramp of the Connie, right, or on the down thing, and it goes quick there, but then it goes to the second section, then it drops down.
Yeah. Well, you kind of want it to go slow when it gets lower, because if it hits a rock at that point, your ship's gonna fly up.
Or if you're outside of it, it smacks you in the face and kills you.
Yeah. But you can put like a whole bunch of grapes down below and then hit the button and the elevator will smash. Okay. Yeah. But I do wonder if we'll fall through the elevator because it moves so fast.
I was hoping they would have
put. Things that worry me, and one of them they just showed.
What's that?
You can actually see in that reflection some white box still. So they're not done with that.
Okay, regardless of the white box, this looks like the Enterprise. I'm saying this now. This is like my Star Trek RP dreams. I kind of wish there was more of an engineering room, but I just want to like run around and be like, "She can't take any more of it, Captain."
Well,
sorry.
To me, the Enterprise will always be the Endeavor because it's the one that suits the role most. It's huge. It can sprawl stuff. It's modular.
It has like domes of glass and plants. That's not the Enterprise.
Well, you don't have to put those on there.
You don't have to have the domes.
But this is white and classy on the inside. It is.
So will the Endeavor be. And the Endeavor has a saucer section. I mean, spaceship that comes off the front.
That's like Enterprise D, maybe. But even then, it's more like. I don't know. No, maybe.
This whole ship bugs me. I mean, I'm glad I didn't buy one.
I love this ship. It's amazing. Only people who don't like this ship are like crazy people, like Toy Grubbin. Just kidding.
Well, I think it's going to be cool, but I'm going to earn one in game. I'm not paying 8. If I spent this much money on a ship, I would get an Idris. But you already have an Idris, so I get it.
I do. I have 2 of them. What is the? Wait, is this This is $800?
$890.
$890?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't realize this.
Well, and that's the problem I have. I think this ship right here, for right now, is going to be the best RP vessel, hands down, that's flyable in the game, right? It's going to have the most sections. It's going to have the most elements in there. You can have a full crew of people, do all sorts of things. There's different environments. I mean, it's very cinematic.
It's very.
But as far as if you're a gameplay guy and you're not an RPer,
but who's not an RPer at this point?
I love the RP stuff. I have to admit, they've fully sucked me over to that.
She can't take any much more of this, Captain.
This is the thing for the 890, though. It is supposed to be one person's luxury ship. And this thing is not designed as one person's luxury ship.
This is an org ship,
It's designed as a floating hotel.
It's an org ship.
It's a hotel.
It is.
Org ship.
When I see this, I think Fifth Element luxury yacht, not the ship they rode in Fifth Element. That was the like
Lost in Paradise.
This is a Star Destroyer. This is Darth Vader's personal transport.
No. Darth Vader didn't play basketball. No, I look at it like what we saw in the movie Fifth Element was the cheap seats, right? Like all the families, all the couples that go on the cruise line, it was like the low end. This is the luxury version. If you're going over to the major hotel of what was it called again, Toy? From Fifth Element?
The Lost in Paradise.
Yeah, Lost in Paradise.
It was where
this is where the A-listers would take this ship there. That's what this is.
All I'm saying is look at the space here. It looks like freaking Starship Enterprise. And there's a lot of cool things that we'll see here in a second. It'll be even better.
Every single hallway that they show in this video is different. Like shaped differently. It's just weird to me.
Because it's so many hallways. There's just so many.
That's true, but they all look different. They're all curved differently, and there's no symmetry to the
I love this
hallways,
galley.
You know what I mean?
The only thing that would make this galley better is if that counter retracted.
Yeah, second of all, that's a really bad design for a counter. Unless we're talking about like the future, I guess, where like material science is just like way better. But the first thing that would happen is if I had a counter like that at my home, I would be leaning against it and then wham. Or bend, or you know what I mean?
It won't break.
Material.
It's made of ununtabium or whatever. It's like made of the most it will never bend.
No material known to man that I know of that I wouldn't like if I sat on the end of that
whole
thing.
ship will blow up in this counter with the fruit and knives will still be there. It'll still be there. It'll be okay. No, seriously. I think I wish that would retract. It's like a clear cooktop too there.
And it would retract. Hey, they had flames in the kitchen. Do you realize that the kitchen probably has fire suppressants built in, and the any kind of flame up there in the ceiling would probably have gotten put out super fast?
And here's the other thing: if that's a damaged state, I hope that's not the most severe damaged state, or I might not notice the ship's being damaged. You look up, oh, there's a little fire up there. I want something more severe. Here's the super awesome pool table.
Yeah, this is where we're gonna spend all of our time on the 890 jump.
How small is this room?
It's very big. It's big enough for a pool table. You know how much
you're in an 890 luxury yacht, and it looks like a fucking Holiday Inn fucking.
First of all, Toy. First of all, this is the crew quarters. This is not for guests. So this is the crew pool table. So it's supposed to look like Holiday Inn. You're lucky you get a pool table. You're just the hired help.
Okay.
So are there more pool tables for the guests then
Probably.
upstairs somewhere? Must be, right?
They have golf courses in the gym.
Oh, that would be cool. Like a little virtual golf thing where I can like go and like do virtual golf.
Or they like have a little skeet shooter where like flying clay pigeons shoot off of
can
the,
I
off
play?
the 890 and you go wham,
You could put a whole top golf course in an 890 jump.
Well,
Clay
isn't this
pigeon
Top
shooter
Golf
on
right here?
890.
It's got the wheelie
Seriously.
thing. Right?
I hope we'll be able
That's
to play
golden
that
tee is
eventually.
what that
Golden
is.
Tee, that's what I'm thinking of. The
What's
old
happening?
classic, the
Yes.
little rolly ball from Golden Tee.
Yeah, man. Golden tee, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. My point is this is not for like the really rich people. This is for the peasants to play.
Plebs. This is the pleb room down here. Yes.
What do you think about these EVA?
When I say so, they're not pods you go into EVA. They just contain a suit.
I thought
A
they
suit
were.
that you put on.
Dude, isn't that how you get jettisoned out of the ship? When
well,
it's
they
No,
may
no.
be. But the
No,
guy when he
that's
was
not-
giving us
they
a
don't get
tour,
a ship.
the guy
Yeah.
that said was giving us a tour, he said you go here, you get a suit, and you put a suit on before you go into the space docky thing.
Airlock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to get a
Thank
suit on.
you.
Okay. It's just so it's just space suit
Yeah,
storage.
yeah.
Okay.
It seems
And
way
space
overdone
suits,
for
like,
just
you have to-
spacesuit storage, but I get it.
Spacesuits
It's a
are
luxury
bulky.
yacht. But
You
yeah,
gotta store a human being sized
like,
object.
here's the
that's
airlock
true.
control,
So
right?
notice right here that there's no panel there yet.
Yeah,
It's not done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, there's some missing pieces. So, but again, they made a film. They might have filmed this like weeks ago. Toy.
Maybe.
Sometimes they film the inside Star Citizen stuff a long time in advance. I feel like.
They do. I'm just pointing it out because I like to bitch about things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the ships they're showing here? Like you can fit 2 snubs.
Well, first of all, that was the original advertisement, right? Wasn't it supposed to advertise 2 of these as part of its like normal?
5Xs, right?
Yeah, that's what it was advertised to carry. So they're just showing off that. But
You could fit
obviously, you can
so
hold
much
Put a
one.
larger ship in there, obviously.
You know what?
Obviously, they can hold one
Absolutely.
super large ship, which is really
yeah.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, look how tall the ceiling is. Like,
Yeah, but
we are
it's-
storing. Like, you could probably land a Valkyrie in here.
I highly
don't
doubt it.
No, I'm wet.
Here's why. The
I don't know,
the
maybe.
wingspan. The
I don't know.
wingspan's gonna be your issue.
Yeah, but when they look,
I can
up,
blow the
it
wings
is
off.
Super wide.
But let me ask you this: is there any ship that you could fit in here that would be more powerful than just loading a ballista in here and just launching the ballista out with 5-7
No,
missiles
I
to
think you
shoot?
can store a ballista in the cargo.
Yeah,
area.
no. But we can also get one in here. It's hard to get it in because you have to drive it up on top of the 890 and then like lower it down. But they did say that this like floorboard thing, they didn't show it because I guess it's not working, and Toy can call that out as a gripey thing. But the floor is supposed to rise up to the ceiling,
Yes.
right? So if you had a ballista in here, you could literally like open the thing and push it out, and then while you're flying, have this ballista start shooting missiles at things.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you
That's
can
what
come
I'm saying.
attack?
I wouldn't even.
us.
I want to just open the door and not even raise it. Just have the ballista go, zzz, and then everything that's over the top, you just fire out of the.
You could,
Out of
yeah, absolutely.
That'd be cool.
I don't know, but I think you can fit quite a bit up in here.
Oh yeah, that's definitely roomy in there. It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I want to see what kind of wingspan you can have in there. A Saber should be able to fit in there comfortably.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Because look how much on either side you have so much
Super
space.
easy. A Saber would.
I
land
think
in.
the
Yeah.
Valkyrie's
I
the
think you could fit way
question.
more than-
You might be able to get a Valkyrie in there, but that would be like near the limit of like what.
Yeah,
you're gonna-
maybe Valk is the limit. It might not fit, but you can definitely fit a Drake Cutlass Black. You know.
Oh,
what
I
mean?
would think
Like,
any single seat
Yeah.
fighter for the most part, you should be able to fit.
No
if it's not
freelancers
transport.
though. No
Yeah.
freelancers.
maybe a freelancer.
I don't think so. Anything smaller than a freelancer
Gesundheit.
will work.
Here's me. I'm done.
See.
Ah,
I have to see. Freelance would be a question mark because it's not too wide. As long as it's got the length there, you might. Be able
it's
to
it's
squeeze
it's
that.
wide enough. It's just about. I think I can fit freelancer. That's a freelancer.
Maybe
size.
not a max.
Maybe not to the top door, but inside it fits. I think maybe not a max. Yeah, maybe not a max.
Maybe not a max, but I think a regular freelancer you could fit in there.
We'll fit one in. It's just not gonna fit.
It's
Yeah,
whether
I'll
we'll
fit.
naturally go in pretty easily. or
Question,
not.
how many Argo cargos?
Although I have to say, for a $900 ship, you would hope most single ships could fit inside of it. Just
Why is so many people throwing a fit about the basketball hoop on there?
It's just basketball's confirmed. That's all.
I know, but people are throwing a fit about it. Oh, I don't want it. I think it should be an option.
There. What else do you want to put
Nothing.
there?
They don't want basketball in there.
Who cares?
People were
I'm
saying
gonna come up in their
rich
ship.
families want tennis.
I'm gonna
So
board
there's
them.
no tennis thing in there.
I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna board somebody's 890, bring them
Okay.
all to the cargo bay, and force them to play hoops.
Is it just
That's
me,
like
or
it,
am I
shirts
the
and
only
skins.
person? Am I the only person who is now like, when I saw that basketball hoop, the first thing that came to my mind was, OMG, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna open the doors. I'm gonna fly a ship. I'm gonna fly a ship above the thing, and I'm gonna try to drop things through the hoop from like really high up.
Okay, Mr.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Red Bull.
Like, there's like already little mini games you can do with that basketball.
You know,
hoop.
that's the only game you can play that's not attached to like a video game inside Star Citizen, right? Because all you can do is pick up things
He's
and
trying to
throw
get
them.
sponsored by Red Bull.
All you can do
I
is
mean, come
throw.
on, seriously, guys. Turtles. You get a turtle. You go up when you're like Cutlass Black.
You just
hover
throw it.
over
Just
the
throw 'em at the
opening
hoop.
door of the 890 jump, and you throw turtles and try to see if you can get them through
Grenade through the hoops. Yep.
Yep.
All
Yep,
into it. All into it.
So here's some more weird shaped hallways. It's different than every other
It's
hallway.
not weird. It's just cool. It's like,
No, this is actual only hallway I think looks really cool. All the
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
look weird.
this is very like
shaped
Starship
shaped.
Enterprise. This is like Starship Enterprise. Captain
Yeah.
Kirk and Spock walking down. OMG. Like, this is literally the internals feel like they stole a lot from like Star
I
Trek.
like how they thought about the fact if the power goes out, you have like ladders to
This
surpass.
is smart.
those.
Jeffrey's tube, man.
Yep.
Yeah, the 600i doesn't have that.
Yep.
No,
They
no.
only have turbo lifts. They do
I
not
hate
have
the fact. So things about the 600i I dislike is the lack of turbo or ladders or whatever,
Mhm.
and the lack of freaking doors into space that you
Well,
can't. Like,
if you
get the
just would have
elevators.
paid double, then you could have got an 890. You'd be
Well, I
okay.
have all three of them.
Well, I know,
and
but I'm
still
just saying, for people who don't like the 600i, just get the equivalent of two.
Yeah.
Put a sprinkle of love on top, and then you get an 890. You're
Yeah,
good.
to an
except
890
you
jump.
won't be able to man the 890 by yourself. You barely can man the 600 by yourself.
Have they come out and said that?
I don't. They haven't. No.
I don't.
but,
I
mean,
think it's going to be one of these
it's
things
gonna
where you
have
can
a lot of
wing it.
AI blades. Of all the super capital ships, it'll probably be the easiest to fly because it's like luxury, whatever. But still,
Yeah.
I still think it'll require some more people than just one, unless you want to lose it.
Yeah. I just don't think anything this big you should be able to fly by yourself.
No, and I
Here's
think that
another
like
hallway.
once you, well, oh yeah, here's your grotto.
It's the spa, man.
This is a spa, baby.
No, there's no more wasted space on a ship than like a spa because like in a game, like really, what are you gonna use?
There's
it
no
for? I'm
more
not
wasted
sure, but-
space anywhere in life than a spa. A spa is a
Yeah.
waste of space. It's like that's
Gonna use the steam room or the hot tub, surely.
Well, why do they make two saunas? Like I understand one sauna in the game, right? But like two saunas in real life, maybe. But even in real life, two saunas is overkill.
Well,
in the
I-
game, two saunas is just like what?
I think they have to
One
have
for
one.
men, one for
guests.
aliens.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because they have different temperatures for different species or something. I mean,
What? And so,
It's
plus,
for the immersion.
some people smell in a sauna, and you just got to go to the other one. You don't want to be in that
Yes,
one.
I
with
can.
them.
I'm going over here, man.
So in this room, I would be curious to see really, and I can't wait for the DNA to come out because I want to see morphologist kind of go through his thoughts on the ship. But
Mhm.
if I saw a hot tub in real life in a room like this, I think it would be weird that there was a wall blocking nothing behind it.
Here's
Yeah,
what
it's weird.
if they want to like blow this out of the water, what they need to do is make that eventually, not right now, but interactable to where I can put my hand through it and break the water stream.
Yeah.
How cool would that be
Or
to like
yeah.
actually like interface with the water, you know?
If
Like,
it was a
somewhere.
water stream and it didn't have a wall behind it, it was just like a waterfall almost. That would be kind of cool. But like
Well,
in
that's
real
what
life,
it looks
you'd have
like to
something
me,
that.
though.
Yeah, but in real life, something like that would exist. But that behind that wall would be the entrance to the bath, like the showers or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Not the way they've done it here.
or
It's just-
project video on the water wall. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where if I could watch the sports game, what I don't like
Yeah.
is
the
that
sports
solid,
ball
or are
thing
you
up
like
there.
walking on rocking plants in there?
So
No, that's a
no.
fish tank, and I don't understand that either, to be honest.
It's a
Go
fish
for it,
tank
Toy.
at the bottom of the jacuzzi. And yes, it's a leftover from the old grotto thing.
Well, that's what I'm
and
saying.
just
When they
put-
had the rock wall toy, I think it made sense. Now it just
Yeah.
looks dumb because they made it all slicked out.
Also, I don't mind
now
it.
it's
It looks
like-
cool. It
Yeah.
looks cool, sure, but like you're a hot tub. Like, wouldn't the hot water from the hot tub cook the fish in the water below?
This
And
is
the-
space. You're
I
perfectly
don't like it.
fine.
I'm trying to understand it. And even if
not just that, if you turn the damn thing on, you won't even be able to see it with the bubbles going.
Because of
No,
bubbles.
it also doesn't. It doesn't look. It looks like it's right there. It doesn't look like it's in depth. It looks like you would walk on these coral stuff, not. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
And if that was a fish tank, can you see the fish tank from any other angle?
Don't
really.
think
You would
so.
only see
Maybe
it
from
if
below
there's
somewhere.
A
nothing
fish
going.
tank there would only be cool as if you had a floor below this and you could look up and see a fish tank.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be cool. But like there, it's like I don't know why I'm walking in. It's like that creeps me out. If anything, that doesn't look cool.
Yeah, especially if there are like dangerous fish or like octopus or something down there, then you'd be like, the bubbles dissipate and
these better be for the price of the ship. These better be hue lights. These better be hue lights. If I can't change the colors of this place, because this seems really depressing to me.
Well, you're not gonna be able to change the colors anytime soon. I know that.
I want to be able to say, come in there and say 890, turn the lights red, and it like turn them red.
Well, you don't have an 890, so you don't have to worry about this.
Yeah, I will eventually in game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go team. Just kidding. All right, I'm done.
What do you guys think about them talking about these booths, like where they're really pushing these?
Sigelian.
Back up to Disco for a minute. I want to bitch about this fucking nice ass jacket Disco's wearing that's not on the damn store.
That's been a thing for a while.
I know. Yeah. It's a beautiful jacket too.
But how else are you gonna know
Nice
like who's a CIG employee or not?
I guess. All right. So we get the crap T-shirts and they all get the cool stuff.
Yep.
4 months of my subscription money went for that jacket toy.
Yeah. Hey, wait. How much money? All right.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. So yeah, what do I think about them pushing the booze?
Yeah,
I don't know. So they obviously like really want a lot of booze.
Their booths were really cool. So
they were pretty cool.
The community's booths were really cool. These guys put a lot of work and effort into these booths last year.
What do you think? Should have a SpaceBro booth there? Just kidding.
Yeah, who's gonna put it up?
I don't know. I'm going, but I don't know if I have the energy to put up a booth.
And you'd have to man it too.
Manned all day, and
I know.
I'm sure Mitachi has enough stickers for it though. Still, don't you? You got like 10 boxes of stickers still.
I actually don't. I gave well, I didn't do that in Austin. I only did that in Frankfurt, right? Like we still gave out some, but we didn't do that. We gave gave everybody coins though. Everybody had coins from last year.
Yep.
How is CIG allowed to publish this video with a Lego figure?
With a Lego guy in there? I have no idea. Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. Give them a hard time.
Now they're gonna ban the video. I'll be like, no. But these people did great work on these things. Did they charge for you to have a booth last year?
No, I don't think so. It's all community booth stuff, so there's no charge.
Yeah.
This is Damar Rally. I got to hang out with that guy a lot while we were. I think you hung out with him quite a bit too, right,
Montoya.
There's Montoya. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, but he flew all the way from Australia, I think, or whatever. The Damar Rally guy. He's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some hardcore people
like
really came all the way from Australia. That's not a cheap ticket.
No, yeah, Jolly came too, and he was from Australia as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. So overall, pretty good inside Star Citizen. I thought it was pretty.
Yeah,
good.
I liked it. This is as much as I've been kind of saying things about content. Hey, okay, we can use the word griping, maybe.
That's the easiest word. Yeah, okay, maybe griping, but it's just.
As much as I've been griping about video content, like I was pretty happy with that. It's just mostly like I just hate the fact that we have one video to look forward to a week. It's better than no videos, but it's like, are we really at that stage in our life where we've gotten so hungry that we're these like dogs waiting for our masters to come home and give us the scraps? You know what I mean? Like, oh, thank you so much for the one time a week that you feed me. I appreciate it. You're so loving and kind and caring. Anyways, all right. Sorry, moving on.
Oh man, that sounds like you're talking about a parent that beat you. Thank you for the bread, Mom. Appreciate that one piece of bread you give me on Fridays. Perfect. Oh my goodness, crazy sauce. Yeah, I really feel like you guys said, I feel like we're in this content, not starved, but diminished mode for this that we've been for this year, and I feel like Chad's had some great points. And you know, about like they're saving stuff for Citizen Con. They probably are. They probably are saving a lot of stuff there. But I feel like everything that's going to happen at Citizen Con, I'm looking forward to seeing everything as always. I really am going to be interested to see if they continue on with the pillar conversation though, or if they go a different direction. Seems like every year they kind of shift how they're judging the game, and they're kind of, you know, oh, well, it's like this and that. And usually the highlight, last year was the first time the big major highlight was something they actually were giving us, right? Like when we talked about ArtCorp, we talked about these different aspects of that. We like actual feature sets of what you're going to be experiencing. Because before that, when me and Toy were in Frankfurt, what was the major feature surprise they talked about? That was the future look. Do you remember, Toy?
That was Pioneer, wasn't it?
The Pioneer and land claim systems and all that stuff that we haven't even heard a thing about. Not even on the radar.
Nothing.
And, and I guess maybe that was why I was a little disheartened last Citizen Con by their future look of stuff, because like they went from like level 10 talking about this stuff to like that's not even on the judgment scale of a feature to where the game's going to be like near deliverable, like not even a ghost thing. And I was like, I don't know, it just kind of like melted my brain a little bit. Like, okay,
I feel that way every time they come out with stuff like the Ballista. Now, don't get me wrong, I bought a Ballista too, but there's really no gameplay for ground stuff. That is, I feel like the Ballista was a step in the right direction to facilitate that gameplay. It's finally something to give the land units a chance to do something. They just need, what they should have done though is done Ballista and more, and like, you know, fixed AA positions, something to say, okay, guys, we're giving the ground these packages of things you can do, something to compete against that. And we're going to make it, we saw what you did with Jump Town, and we're going to make it to where that is a mission, or that is gameplay mode. Hold this position with your squad for like 25 minutes, or do, you know, some sort of emergent gameplay opportunity there where we didn't have to like break out notepads and Play-Doh and try to figure out and make something ourselves in game to do.
Yeah,
that's what the game needs right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, they had shifted their whole approach to CitizenCon, right? Because they were showing us things that they were like barely able to kind of get working after months and months of working, and they could get the demo to kind of run, but then we weren't seeing that stuff for years, right?
And not even haven't seen it yet still. Like
still, right. And so then they shifted where they were like, well, we're going to show you like gameplay that's coming out, right? Which is where they were showing us things that we're going to get like in the next patch or two. I think that's good. I think that's fine. I think it would still be nice to, I'm sorry, what?
Big mix of both would be nice, but
yeah, a mix of both would be nice, right? Like show us where we're at now or where we're going to be in the next like 3 to 6 months, but then also show us a little peek at what's coming, you know, maybe not like 4 years from now, but like maybe a year from now.
And,
right?
And the environment team's going to hate me for saying this. I hope I don't see a bunch of crap on environments. I'm sick of environments.
When you say environment, what do you mean?
I don't want to see a 20-minute segment on trees or ground.
I do.
Or
if it's indoor,
I want to see indoor.
I want to see freaking indoor.
Okay, you can see it, but it feels like they circle around. Okay, we're making trees and they look awesome.
If they do weather and they do storms, I want to see those. I want to see the dynamic weather system. I want to see clouds.
I want to see the weather.
And I want to see like rivers, if they ever do river technology. And
I do want to see that in game.
Like, those are all environment things I want to see. Yeah.
In game, eventually. I don't want that to be the highlight of CitizenCon.
No, I agree. It should be background in CitizenCon.
If CitizenCon was nothing but a video of somebody jumping on a hover bike, flying through a forest of indoor with waterfalls, oceans, and amazing looking like rivers, they haven't ever.
They haven't. True.
Yeah, that would.
So you want basically what they already did, except have oceans and rivers in it.
And
except that we're getting
big trees. big giant trees,
or big actual giant mountains.
So all they
like
got to
we
do
saw
is
in that one demo that we haven't seen anywhere.
They just got to render an
Yes.
environment with some trees and shit and fly through it. Maybe have a guy hanging off the top of a tree like they did the mountains going.
Okay. My point is, I first of all, I caveat that with the fact that it needs to be like the game, like as in like it's the one that comes out within a month after they show it.
That won't happen.
But the other thing is like, you remember that Hello Citizen Con demo, all that stuff, right? Big huge mountains and shit landing on place with. We have none of that still.
Yes, give me big mountains. Well, we got the savannah, thankfully, finally.
Kind of on a shitty planet.
You got some mountains in Lorville.
We got what?
You got mountains in Lorville.
We don't really have mountains.
Not that big. Like not real big mountains.
Like if you're
but what are you gonna do with them?
Appalachia-ish size mountains, but they're not even that big.
All I'm saying is like all these environments are nice, and I love the ambience and all that stuff.
They're
I
not
want
just,
something
they're not
to
good
do
environments.
on
They're
them.
okay environments. They're cool for like POC type environments, but they're not like,
that great.
Yeah, they're not like immersive planetary Himalayan like beauties that I want.
Like, can you imagine having like an actual like a lake with like big tree stuff around it, and you actually have like a river flowing in the lake, and you don't actually like
just kidding.
I want that too. I'm okay. Like, look, space is boring. Okay, space is black and stuffed planets and things floating around and quantuming. Lots of quantuming. Maybe it's because I've quantumed a lot lately. I don't know, but like it's lots of quantuming and space. So
that's why I want stuff to do in the ship. I want stuff to do.
No, that'd be nice too. Well, maybe they give us plans to put in the ship.
A lot of things need to happen, obviously, but like you're right. It's probably if we're gonna err on the side of like improvements that need to be done, it's improvements to gameplay. But like as in like more stuff to actually do. But the environment in which you do it, it needs so much work.
Yes.
It does.
I agree too.
Indiana Jones, the movie, wouldn't be Indiana Jones if they didn't have the cool like jungles and like cliffs and like
exactly.
I don't know. You need that. So, but I agree with you. There's not a lot of gameplay there.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the nebulas and gas clouds, environments in space too.
That's still environments though.
Yeah, also
in space then. But you can do something with it.
Well,
the Squadron 42
out soon, right? Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, the Squadron 42 update mentioned that they're merging the asteroids with the gas cloud tech and doing solar like winds and stuff inside those things.
That's kind of cool. Question:
really cool.
Is Asteroid 2 tech gonna have caves in asteroids with giant worms that'll try to eat your ship? Because
that would be awesome.
Kind of cool.
I don't know,
but I bet not.
This is no cave.
That you just spoiled the whole surprise of Citizen Con. It's like, and we have worms in space too.
Worm sign.
Yep. Missed it.
They're gonna take the same sandworm they had 4 years ago and put that in a cave.
Yep, that's the plan. Should be
That
awesome.
would be awesome.
That's all. We'll be like, we'll eat it up, and they really haven't done anything. It's just like,
yeah, I don't know. I'm looking for. I'm just curious. Like, I like to go back, and I think leading up to CitizenCon, for those who aren't going to be going, we're going to go back and look at the old Citizen Cons a little bit too, and kind of talk about some of those. Maybe do a couple specials, like where we're at on the path, like how has Citizen Con changed, what some of the things we've seen at Citizen Con. And I think a lot of that also wakes us up to like where we are in the project, because it's like we've seen a lot of stuff that's not here, and a lot of stuff that's not on the roadmap. So we don't know.
The IRS auditing CIG's tax returns over the last 7 years and say, well, let's see.
Yeah, just kind of get an idea. I'm just like, because there's a lot of things we get hyped about when we build up to CitizenCon and at CitizenCon that doesn't really translate to what we actually see in the game, and is still years down the road. And the reason I harp on this a little bit is because with the overall road to release stuff that Chris went through, he talked about a lot of these systems like this, right? Like the organizational system, full persistence here, all these things, to where they're not really on the roadmaps I've seen.
Yeah.
And even if they get pushed all the time because there are things, we don't see these things.
No.
And this is just last year. I mean, if you go farther back, it's things that you still don't see on the roadmaps that are like, you know, go the year before, like I mentioned, the land claim system stuff. I'd like to see land claim 1.0, where you don't even claim the land. Just see that mechanic of like contending for land or doing something like, hey, it's just a static base that like you go after and I go after and we try to contend for anything like that.
There's no point in fighting over land until you can grow grapes. Really,
or mine on it,
or weed, or not mining. Yeah, you can mine asteroids. Land.
If it's a mission, I mean, they could dumb it down as simple as it's a mission. Like you're supposed to go there and secure this area, and then it creates a counter mission for people to come take it.
I'm not so into the idea of land claims right now. I think there's so much we can do, but I think you're right. Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to see it. Obviously the big reason I really want to see land claims is because Pioneer is one of my favorite ships. Obviously, they've ever announced it. I'm looking forward to it the most. It's beautiful looking. It's got a gameplay that probably will be really fun.
According to this road release, the organization system is supposed to come in full persistence, then server meshing.
But server meshing has to come in before Microtech.
Maybe not in that order.
Maybe not.
Well, no, server side OCS has to be in before Microtech. Server meshing can be later.
Why not? Wait, no, I think you have to have both. What's the point of you can't have server side OCS if you don't have server meshing, right? Or unless, so the only reason server side OCS. Okay, and this is literally me on the outside trying to understand something that I don't understand. But you have a game server that's keeping track of a whole bunch of objects, right? The only time a game server doesn't have to keep track of an object, I guess, is if no single person on the entire server is in a location. So let's say like everybody magically quantums away from Crusader. Then you don't have to like keep track of Crusader. You can like stream it out of the game server, I guess. But what are the odds in the existing system that nobody will be in any one of the general locations? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, would server-side OCS matter in a world where you have a small map that people are everywhere, right? I don't know. That's the question.
I think the answer is yes, probably still, because right now it has to keep track of literally everything. Keep in mind, we only have 50 people on a server now, right?
Yeah.
If you have 10 of those at Port Alisar and a couple at ArcCorp and a couple at Hurston, you're still taking out some moons, a bunch of outposts, a bunch of other stuff. So I think you still gain something, but I think you're right though. Server meshing has to come closely behind.
Server side OCS without server meshing doesn't. So like I would think, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I would think that when you have two servers managing one thing, you can say like, okay, this server is no longer going to think about X, Y, and Z and stream it out. When this server might pick it up, you know what I mean? Or split off. Maybe they don't need to go hand in hand, but in my mind, for some reason, they always were technologies that kind of needed to work together in order to be effective. But I could probably be like off the deep end right now.
In theory, I think you're actually maybe onto something there.
The
because
OCS
if they
is the
actually
same
have server meshing working. If they had server meshing working really well down to the container level, they wouldn't even need server-side OCS because the server could get so targeted that it wouldn't need to really worry about anything other than the object containers that it's actually responsible for.
Yeah, but anyways, regardless, we'll see. I would be highly suspect if server meshing doesn't come in during or like as part of Microtech, but maybe again, I could be completely wrong about it, but we'll see.
Absolutely.
So, yep.
If you guys have any questions in the audience that you would like anyone in the group to answer individually or together or whatever, you're more than able to go ahead and throw those at us. Just !smart questions in chat like what I posted there, and then you can just click on the Google Doc and post your question. And as long as they're of reasonable context, we will try to answer those over the short period of time here because we're going to get wrapping up here in the next few minutes. But yeah, the pillars and stuff is just interesting to me. If you go through, I just invite people to go back and look at the road to release video. And apparently these were pillars we've already done. There were major pillars, and they were. But there's more pillars that have been completed than what we have left to do, which is interesting.
What is first and third? Oh, that's for old
Star Marine.
Combining first and third person.
Essentially, it was 2.6 Star Marine.
Woot woot. They launched that a long time ago.
It's been a while.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a while. Just put things in kind of questions with an S on the end.
Been a while since I first met
so
you.
Let's go over to that and see. First, let's go around the room like we always used to and see when people are going to be streaming next, what they're going to be streaming, what's going on, all that stuff. So we'll start with Scorpion this time.
So I'm streaming in about 9 hours and 2 minutes. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. I'll be doing some Star Citizen. I think at least initially, see where it goes. And then I've got a pretty busy week then of family things with moving into college and stuff like that. So then I think my next stream is like a week or so later. Well, actually Monday night probably, and then a week or so later. So more Star Citizen, of course, plus probably some other stuff here and there.
Absolutely. Cool. Toy, how about you, buddy?
I'll probably stream tomorrow evening. I'm trying to stream just about every day. Sometimes I don't get around to it, just about every day. So I'll try and get on tomorrow evening and do some streaming.
Nice.
Hopefully play some more Star Marine.
There you go.
Oh,
that'd be fun.
Let's play together, my friend, if I'm around.
We'll have to try to hit each other on Discord and get that going and all that. Again, also, guys, make sure in chat that you're giving follows out there. I believe Phantom linked over there to Scorpion. I just linked Toy as well. Make sure you follow their channels too. You can watch those guys when they're on. And last but not least, of course, Mr. Luke, or the Few, as you're known across the amazing Twitcherverse. When are you going to be streaming next? Where can they find you at and all that good stuff?
They can find me on your channel. Just kidding.
Right now. Yes, you
can.
He's that guy over there.
Oh, I hang out here on your channel when you're not here. I mean, it's okay.
I do that too. I wake up many mornings, I'm blank on your channel. I'm like, where am I?
Where am I? What happened? Yeah. No, I will probably be streaming after the show because, hey, it's Friday.
Hey, why not?
Right. And then I will be streaming probably, depending on how late I stay up tonight streaming. I will be streaming tomorrow morning. Then I'm going to the coast for the weekend to see my parents. So I will not be streaming. And then hopefully I will be on a regular schedule all next week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday for sure. Probably Tuesday. So the idea is I'm going to try to do that. Work's been a little cray, but I'm trying to make this a priority because I love freaking Star Citizen and I love the community. So that's going to happen. Yeah, that's it. So yeah,
cool.
I don't know what Mitt's doing though. That's a big question.
What am I doing? I don't know what I'm going to play after this. I was going to play some Rebel Galaxy some more or something like that. Especially from the horror stories you guys keep telling me about the game every time. Like, it's like, oh, it's been a nightmare trying to get on and do something so crazy. I'm like, just let me know when the 890's in, and I'll hop in. so yeah, probably do a little Rebel Galaxy, something of that nature. Also working up, been doing some more contextual stuff, trying to get the website updated, all that jazz. And then we'll be gearing things up. We are now officially about 70 days away from my family's first trip to Disney World altogether. So
nice
lightsaber.
Yeah,
lightsaber.
Really bad. We'll see. So it's gonna be really cool.
Do we need to start a Mitt lightsaber fund?
I don't have,
because we need a Mitt lightsaber fund if we don't have one, because you need to come back with a lightsaber.
Let me see if I got this real quick.
So you can show it off on stream that you built, that you have to film yourself building it, of course.
Are you going to Disney World?
That's the only place we go.
They just opened up reservations for the lightsabers and droids and stuff.
Do it
yesterday or the day before. Yeah.
I think we go after, but we're not going until end October, so I think we're outside the reservational period.
Figure it out, make it happen.
I had to put reservations in, and we're going in December.
Oh, well then I'll have to,
you should check.
I will definitely check
it. Get the reses.
Absolutely, we'll check it out. So
you gotta get your own custom lightsaber.
Oh, I'd love it, dude. That would be so cool. It's just we have a couple other things going on that we've been talking about and whatnot, because we have that. I still have to do taxes for last year because I couldn't find an extension. I know I don't like it, but it's the truth. And then on top of that, my wife is going to have surgery when we get back. She's putting it off till then. It's not like super emergency, but it is something she's going to have to do done. She has a tumor she has to get removed. So yeah, it's a deal. It's not going to be cheap. So it's major surgery. It's going to lay her up for at least a couple months. So we'll have to. Sucks. Yeah, it does. But we'll get through it and we'll do it. It's just when I took out the loan to go to Disney World, which we took out a full loan to do it, didn't plan on having major surgery too, so it's gonna get expensive. But no, my kids are super hyped, and they're gonna be able. We bought the package, and they're gonna be able to trick or treat at Disney World.
They're gonna what?
They're gonna trick or treat. We're going down there around Halloween time, so they're super excited
for them.
And here's my kids in their outfits. He's got his Jedi outfit there. Where he can do that. We went all in, and she got the full like Rey costume and all that stuff. So they're super excited.
Awesome.
So yeah, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But yeah, but other than that, just stream my butt off and hang out and do all the stuff, and then hopefully we'll be able to do a SpaceBro show for those that's not going to CitizenCon, and we'll watch
Space
it.
Bros are not going. Everybody but me, or is anybody else from Space Bros going?
I think Toys going. All right,
you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going too, Scorp?
Yep, all three of you are. So you definitely need to kind of link up
and get together because I want to go a little early and maybe see a couple things before CitizenCon.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be. I actually have a week and a half off for the whole thing, so I wasn't planning on doing it, but I decided to take time off. So I'm going. I'm going to CitizenCon like a day early, I think, ish, and then we're hanging out all weekend. It's going to be a blast, and then the following week. A few people I know we're gonna hang out either. I don't know where we're going, but like Fall and Texas Skulls, and some people are like, "Oh, just gonna go adventuring somewhere." I don't know where, but it'll be cool.
I'll hook up with you later because I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Should be fun. Well, I'll be here watching from the cheap seats, so it'll be cool though.
With your lightsaber that you built at Disney World.
I know.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see. They're $200 a pop, dude.
But that's like less than the normal spaceship on Star Citizen.
That's true, actually.
But I also haven't bought anything from Star Citizen this year. I got the ballista because I had credit on my account.
True.
This is the first year I haven't bought anything from Star Citizen.
That's good. I haven't bought a lot, but I've
probably better off.
The main reason I haven't bought a lot is because they haven't sold a lot this year, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been a really light year.
I think I bought everything that they.
I'm sure they'll make up for it this winter, and they'll like kill us.
I bought a motorcycle. I think I bought
Ranger. Okay.
And what is the thing like the ballista?
The ballista.
What else did they come out with this year?
I don't know.
Have there been any ships?
I don't know. It's been a really light year. I bought like everything they put out, and can't even think. I don't even know it was this year or last year.
I didn't get a motorcycle. That's one thing I wish I would have got, but I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I have one for you. I'll give you one.
Oh, the SRV. That's the tow.
Oh yeah.
Argo.
Yeah. You have to join my motorcycle gang if you if I give you one.
That'd be
cool. Okay.
I know it's like the dragonflies and stuff. Everybody's kind of like, oh, I want a regular motorcycle now. I'm like, well,
the SRV came out this year. That's right.
I'll trade you a dragonfly for a motorcycle.
I don't need another dragonfly. I got like 30 of those.
Oh my god, so many. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy sauce. All right, so let's get into this. We only got a couple questions, and then we'll get you guys out of here.
Okay.
First question tonight is from Jen Desperado, and he says, "Where do you feel the SE community is at the moment, good or bad, and where is it heading?" So
wait, you said you cut out. So where is the SC community? What?
Where do you feel the Star Citizen community is at the moment? Is it like good or bad? And I don't think anybody here is going to say, "Oh, the Star Citizen community sucks." I don't think that's going to happen. But and then where's it heading? And I assume they mean culture-wise, like with different people in the community, the voices and stuff like that. So just give your overall synopsis on that.
Go for it, Scorpion.
All right. Overall, I will admit I don't spend a lot of time on like Reddit or Spectrum. Mostly just hanging out with people in stream and otherwise. And I think it seems to me like the community is mostly pretty well centered. I mean, certainly the people that I mostly see, right? I mean, most people understand kind of where we're at. Most people understand the issues and the problems, but also see the promise still. You still have some people who are particularly salty, but I still have lots of people come in who are like, hey, I haven't looked at this game for a year. What do you think now? So I think that realistically, it's pretty well balanced still from where I sit. And I don't see that changing anytime soon unless something really drastic happens or either negative or positive that may sway it one way or the other.
Okay. Toy, how about you? What do you feel? Do you agree, disagree? Do you have a different insight on that?
Yeah, I got a little bit different viewpoint of that. I mean, we always get a summer lull, where numbers of all the Star Citizen streamers are down, and I've noticed that across the board, all of them are down in numbers and stuff. But I think that's just what it is, a summer lull. But on top of that, of course, we're not getting as much content because just like the year they had to redo the code, this year, like I said, is just all really Squadron 42 push stuff. And we're not really getting the content that's keeping those people around all the time. I mean, we have our hardcore viewers, of course, that never go anywhere. But, other than that, across the board, I do see a lot of, less numbers than we're used to.
Yeah. Yeah, do you think that's Squadron 42 related, or do you think that's do you really feel like that takes away from the development of Star System, content wise?
Because everything they're putting out, like I said, for Star Citizen and Squadron 42 right now, we don't see. I mean, we get to see it like a month or two down the line, but it's nothing big and major inside Star Citizen to bring those people back. No new game mechanics, no new, I mean, you could call bounty hunting a game mechanic, but like Scorpion says, the damn thing isn't working.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not really getting any big draw stuff to bring people back and get them all real super excited.
Gotcha.
Right now.
Okay. How about you, Luke? What do you think? Do you think where do you think the community is tone wise, just game wise? You feel like they're being positive, negative, good, bad? Where do you think the community's heading? As far as this type of stuff.
I think Shakespeare. No, we few, we happy few, we band of brothers.
Here we go.
No, I think once more, follow me into the breach. I feel like we're at that. We're at the St. Crispin's Day speech. Okay, and it's like we've been there. This has been a long, drawn-out battle, and only the few, the loyal, the dedicated remain in the community. And we understand that the value of it and pushing through and enduring, right? But I think there's some new people as well. I mean, we've had some new streamers come in that have been a good addition to the hype. We've got Rexilla, who's been streaming consistently, surprisingly, for like a while in the Star Citizen community, which has really brought in a lot of new blood and life into the community, which I love. We've had some of our peers over the last year or so kind of start to make their way into our community, which has been really great, like Mythomatic, etc. But as a whole, I agree with Toy. The hype of the main heartbeat of the community, the non-outsiders, the people who have been here since 2012, has really dwindled, and it's become quiet. Not so much that people have lost faith or whatever, but the hype's not there. They're not coming back in and checking up on a regular basis. They're not like wanting to hang out and share the vision for the future of Star Citizen and all that it offers us and stuff. I think that they have it put on a shelf, and that they're going to come back when the hype returns, but we're definitely not in the hype zone right now, and you can kind of tell by the activity in the at least in the Twitch community. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
All right. Next question from CS Digital Design says, with Squadron 42 coming mid next year, maybe.
I don't know what you said. But,
do you? Yeah. Well, I can't tell when Discord cuts out.
That's fine.
Anyway,
with Squadron 42 and then it was
quotation marks.
Yeah, with Squadron 42 coming mid next year, do you think they may tease other systems and jump points for CitizenCon?
Absolutely.
I hope so, but I don't know.
I think we're gonna get Nick, or I think CitizenCon, the little video they show, will probably end with a jump point and coming out at Nick.
And actually have Delamar be there, that would be cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, I agree. I think so. My thought is what they're going to show is they're going to tease. They may tease the Carrack, not sure, because that would be the perfect ship to take through that jump point if they have it. Obviously, have to show some microtech, and then I'm with you. I hope they show going through a jump point to Nyx or something, because I mean, look. I get that they want to create this one system, but it's getting time that we see the fact that they're actually, and we've seen other planets before, like years ago. It's getting time to see something like that. Yeah. So I hope so too.
I don't think so, but maybe. I think that
I said hope.
yeah, I know. I agree. But I mean, again, they keep changing stuff up, so it's very possible, right? But
Yeah.
I do think they have. I think that they've already got those kind of things in the game for themselves to play around with. I don't think they're gonna like probably talk about it or release it during CitizenCon necessarily. I think if they continue on the same kind of trajectory they did last year, we're gonna see microtech. We're going to see a lot of microtechy type stuff during CitizenCon. It's going to focus on that kind of gameplay. If we're lucky, we're going to see some new cool gameplay mechanics being shown off, like mag boots and like
snowmobiles,
like all that kind of stuff. I don't know what, and some of it we're going to see, and some of it we're not. Salvage is supposed to be in the game right around that time, or right near after that time, right? So it's possible we'll see some forward-reaching stuff. Maybe not in the primary like address that Chris Roberts gives us. That thing is probably going to be, hey, here's what you get in a month when 3.8 goes live. Yeah. But not that being said, they may show off. They're definitely going to show off a cool new teaser for Squadron 42. I would imagine they seem to do that almost every year. Whether that's a vertical slice or not, I have no idea. And they may tease jump points. I would hope they tease things like that, or they show off environmental cool things like trees and other gameplay that they're working on. But I think the big major like address that they're going to do, whatever that is, the what do you call that? The
keynote.
There's a name for keynote. Thank you. The keynote address that they're going to do is going to be primarily about 3.8 and the stuff that makes it in 3.8, including microtech.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So toys more geared towards that they're going to show jump points and hopefully show some of that stuff that's a little more far-reaching stuff. And then Luke is more of the camp of they're going to show what they're going to deliver in the more immediate future, which is what they did more last year too. And then Scorpion somewhere in between those two.
I'm very hopeful, but yeah, I know they're going to show. I know they're going to show 3.8 stuff for sure. I am hopeful though that at the end they throw in a little teaser on kind of future looking.
They have to. We can't get just another Squadron 42 teaser to tide us over.
I'm going to agree more with Luke in this regard.
Comes with something blows us away.
I feel like they burnt themselves in Frankfurt though, Toy. I think they showed some stuff that's like not even going to be close to ready for the game. That was the big thing. They showed far-reaching land claims and stuff, and now it's like that the entire keynote of the 2017 video with the Pioneer and all that stuff basically sold and showed us stuff that's like not even on the radar for probably the next 2 to 3 years to come.
Yeah. CitizenCon 2019 is going to be it's here. Our time is here. We have arrived. Yeah. Squadron 42 is upon us. Right. Yep. Like it's going to have to.
And then they're going to show you immediately gameplay features for the MMO aspect too. It's like, look, all this cool stuff that's coming right real soon.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. I think that's what they're going to do.
The best thing from a marketing perspective that they have coming out of CitizenCon for the game and for hype is Squadron 42 is basically done. It's coming out summer 2020 basically, or something like that, right? With the tons of marketing campaigns following suit. And guess what? Gameplay exists in Star Citizen. So when you like the game, like the single player game, look, we've got salvage mechanics, we've got like mag boots, we've got all this other crazy stuff going on, right? And we got microtech, and we got a almost fully instantiated star system, except for Crusader, which will come in another 3 months or something. But my point being is like their best bet is Squadron 42 hype, and Star Citizen is basically playable, at least to a minimum viable product.
And cool gameplay features that are around the corner. That would be, if they show even like some cool combat sequences or different things that you can implement in game once they have these gameplay features that are right around the corner in. I mean, focus on like, I would be great. You want to talk about a future vision? I would like to see a future vision of what gameplay's like with server meshing in. Show me that. Show me how cool that looks like when there's like 100 of us out there, or 200 of us, or something, where you see more interaction and bustling systems. We haven't even seen these areas that we currently have really bustling with people and AI to the degree of what they want it to be, right? So I think there's a lot of things they could do with what they have to kind of reel it in. And I feel like they've gotten a positive response from last year, right? With showing a more realistic, like, hey, this is stuff you're immediately getting, instead of look at what the future may hold for Star Citizen. We've seen that vision. We know the potential and possibilities of what could come and what hopefully will come and what they want to have happen. But people want to know, hey, what am I getting next month? What am I getting next quarter? What am I getting next summer? Not, hey, I want to spend some money for what might happen in 2025.
But so I agree. The only point I'm going to throw out there, though, is like, look, we have the roadmap. The roadmap shows us what's coming around the corner. The roadmap shows us what the plan is. I mean, to keep the community actually excited about the promise and what's actually coming, that we can't only be looking 3 to 6 months out. We have to see what's coming further down the road.
We do
it's
long
tough
term
to balance, but you know,
the problem
long term, we need that as a community. But we can survive 1 year on Squadron 42 hype if that's the deliverable, right? You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I agree.
If this is really, the year,
yes,
yeah. And the thing is delivering something like Squadron 42 will give them so much credibility to start making promises about the future again, right? Because right now it's kind of they're overpromised. They're like whatever. You
they're
know what
overextended.
I mean? They can talk about they can talk about all kinds of things, and we're kind of like right. We'll believe it when we see it mentality right now. And when they deliver Squadron 42, they buy back a lot of credibility, and they can start promising about 3 years in the future again, and we'll all be like, we love you.
No, I agree. I think that's valid. Yeah, I think Squadron 42, they have to deliver on it, and assuming they're going to, I think you're right. If they come out with that buys them another couple years, right? Probably easily to be able to keep going. Yeah, I agree.
Well, remember, I don't know what the break will be between the first part of Squadron 42 and part 2. Remember, that'll be in 3 parts.
Yeah.
So
if you just look at like the amount of videos on here, somebody who just found out of the project and they went through even half of these videos, or even like 1/10 of the number of videos on the Star Citizen YouTube, they would be overpromised within like 5 seconds of like everything of where we actually are versus where they thought we were and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And not saying that they won't deliver on those promises, because I truly believe they will. It's just not going to be in a near time frame that most gamers are going to be like, hey man, here's my $70 and I want to be able to fly in a capital ship tomorrow. It's not going to happen. And I like the fact what they did in 2018 with reeling in expectations, still keeping the excitements of what potentially is going to happen and stuff in there. But I agree with kind of both sides. I feel like you need a middle ground. But I think Squadron 42 will carry us through 2020. I mean, that's
Squadron 42 got to give us something else.
Squadron 42 isn't the promise that we want, but it's what we need, right? Like,
it's a promise we'll accept.
Here's the thing. We know that in 2020, towards, of course, third or fourth quarter, depending on how alpha and beta goes, it's coming out in 2020. So if we
hope,
we don't know that,
blow us away, we do. Wow. They will get that out next year. But what I'm getting at though is if they blow us away here at the CitizenCon, that word of mouth will carry the wave over till the end of next year.
We're a Boston Red Sox fan team right now. And we need to win, okay?
Yes, we need a lot of wins. Holy crap! What the hell happened?
Yeah. We need a win, and I think that win is Squadron 42. It's the closest win we have.
If they want to do something on the MMO side, and they want to do that whole future expansion stuff, what they need to focus in on is really what they had with the Anvil, what the gameplay potential's there, because that's something they can deliver right now, right? There's a lot of potential there. You have a few new vehicles in. You have this whole FPS versus ground and air and all this stuff. That's stuff that works. Look what they've done with Star Marine. And and a lot of people slept on it. Star Marine's really good. If you got all those game mechanics and something to actually play over and stuff, you have kind of an emerging gameplay game to actually do something there. All they need is some acceptable form of respawn element in the world, right? Like if you were able to deliver the Apollo, or say if you took an outpost, you could actually have a med bay there that worked. Any of those things, there's little things they could tweak today to make this game really exciting for people who want instant gratification, not as long-term backers.
Like Apollos would be baller.
Yeah. If you had
if medical gameplay wasn't in the game, even if you could just set the Apollo as your respawn point.
If it's just hand wavery for right now until they get the air stiff in. Think about this. If you would pay, I would pay $45 to $70 for a game where I could do what this beautiful game of what we have in Star Citizen right now, get in a spaceship, fly out there, try taking outposts with my boys. I got a little respawn. We're getting AA fire. We have to get down, take out those turrets. We're trying to hold the ground. Dude, that's awesome. That's Call of Duty squared. You know what I mean?
It's all that, except it does require more than 50 people in a server.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think you could still have fun with 50 people in the server doing that.
You can, but that requires like people like us to like organize 50 people to do it all together. If you go naturally, like as a normal player in a server with 50 people, you're not likely going to have combat.
But that's what I'm saying. I think while they're working out their things, they could focus a mission set, something that's not like building a whole nother module. They could focus a mission set or something to drive us into that emergent gameplay like that, and people would find that fun.
So let me throw this out at you guys. So we know that they won't give us the Idris until after Squadron 42, no matter what. We won't see an Idris in game until at least after Squadron 42. But let me throw this out at you. I heard through the grapevine that they're making a 890 jump Star Marine map.
Well, I've not heard that, and I don't really. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but it's like Star Marine still. So
it is, but Star Marine, like I said, that's one of the things that keeps me going between big content patches. You know,
that's
what I mean?
true. And to be honest, like practicing ship combat is going to be one of our primary forms of FPS, probably when the game's like super live. Like, you know what I mean? Defend the ship from borders or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that could be fun. I don't think it's necessarily like revolutionary, but if they start doing like big ship,
no, it's not revolutionary.
For like FPS or something, that could be a fun addition as well.
Well, we know, a while back, and I was gonna, try and corner Chris Roberts at this Aegis event and ask him that they were supposed to be hiring a team. I am.
Where is it
just
at?
to work in Frankfurt on the 24th this month
of August. Yeah.
Oh damn! So you're flying all the way over to Germany for that, and then you're flying back for CitizenCon to UK.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I get 2 trips this year, but
nice. Awesome, dude. Jelly.
My buying purchases have suffered.
When you get your little like token coin thing that's like a Germany like Aegis thing or whatever it is, like you got to rub it in Dr. Drones' face. Sorry.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I want to see if they've actually hired that group that's supposed to just work on Star Marine stuff. Because like I said, it's getting so much better and so much better. That will keep a lot of people around if that thing is smooth and FPS worthy. You know what I mean?
I like Star Marine. I think that it would be fun if it had more to do and it was less buggy and there was some other like levels, and I think there's a lot of value there. I wonder if it's like, again, as a community, it's kind of like, we already have games like that aren't Star Citizen, so it's like, do I need that to be in Star Citizen specifically? I don't know, but yeah, it's fun.
I think it'll keep the active community you have enjoyable.
In Star
if it wouldn't take away from the development of the game, I would even go so far as to suggest, like what I'm talking about that war scenario, to put that as a level in Star Marine, where you have air and ground and it's Star Marine itself. Like you're trying to go to one space station, and that's all it is. And you're trying to do that thing. But I just don't think that's the. I don't think that's going to be the whole deal. Like they're just not going to spend that kind of development time on it.
No,
like I said, he was supposed to hire a team just to do.
Sorry.
I know.
Yeah, they're probably called Ilphonic. So.
Sorry, we're nobody in chat
picking on you, Mitt.
Nobody in chat gets a joke because they don't hear it, but like
Mitt is cutting out every other word.
Just to them, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Chat can hear you, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Sorry, go for it. Go for it, Scorp. What are you gonna say?
Nothing. I was just making fun.
Oh, okay.
They just chat just thinks you're all high right now because on their perspective, you're laughing at literally nothing. So
we're laughing at an inside joke that only we understand. So yeah, it's not great content. Oh man. Any other questions?
Yes. Are you ready for the next one?
I think so. I think we should move on. I think.
Alan On wants to know, he says, what do you think of the possibility we might see Nyx and or Pyro by first quarter of next year?
Okay, first of all, Nyx, Less interesting. Why? Like, I mean, like Nyx is where we get like Delamar, right? I mean, yeah, you get the cool jump wormhole thingies, right? But it's like, besides that, what else are you getting? Yeah, another star system, but it's really an empty star system. I don't think Nyx, and I don't know the lore very well, but does Nyx have much besides Delamar? I think that if we're getting another star system, we want some cool new planets and environments to explore, right? So, yeah, we'd probably get Nyx, but Nyx by itself, probably not that interesting. Do we get something next year? Yes. If you look at the roadmap, it's obvious, right? We literally got the last planet of Stanton fully in the game by like quarter 1 of next year.
What
are they going to do for quarter 2, 3, and 4, right? They're going to expand to other star systems. They have to, right? And what the cool thing is other star systems don't actually require server meshing or a server-side OCS technically, because I don't know how they're building or engineering it, but most likely the new star systems will be completely different game servers. So you don't actually have the same load problems that you have when trying to expand an existing star system, an existing map per se, right? Because when you jump through a wormhole to a different system, you're basically jumping from one game server to another game server.
Easily.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So my point being is like there's very little besides lore reasons they might not want to show something off because they're holding it for Squadron 42, or because they just don't need to because they're doing stuff for Stanton and they have all the work that they could show us there. You know what I mean? They have nowhere else to go but other star systems and gameplay at the middle to end of next year. So I'm expecting another star system. That's my thoughts. Anyways, go for it if you guys have thoughts. So you're not allowed to contradict me.
Was it anytime next year or in the first quarter? Yeah,
sometime next year for sure. Quarter Nyx and Pyros.
First quarter, I think there's no way in hell, because the first quarter they're going to have to catch up on all the stuff that they pushed for the other quarters. But sometime next year, yes, I think that they have to, because once they get Crusader done, that's the only place left to go. So I agree. Sometime next year, not Q1 though.
Okay. Toy, you agree?
I guess it just really all depends on how the, server-side OCS and meshing work.
Yep.
Before they start jumping.
I think that's like we could tag that answer on top of every question about anything and put in the game now. It's like depends on server meshing and OCS.
I really don't think it's dependent on server meshing for the other star systems, but again, I don't know what I'm talking about. So
how are you gonna get to them?
No, because at the end of the day, the transition between states is like you can handle it somewhat locally or separate. You know what I mean? Like it's not like meshing between servers. You just have to disconnect from one server and connect to another, and then manage.
If they're going to do loading
screens, huh?
It's basically a loading screen. I mean, what else is Quantum except the loading screen? I don't know.
Well, not really. But the thing with that is that they need to have all the backend stuff being tracked in a single database, or be able to replicate that database across multiple servers to be able to hand off from one server to another, right?
Yeah,
which is so server meshing piece.
Maybe if server meshing includes the ability to hand off traffic between servers, then yeah, maybe that's the definition of server meshing. Then yes, okay. So
it all depends on the inside aspect of what CIG uses for that handoff. We don't know. In other games like EVE Online, you literally load it into a new server each time. That's what you do when you move one system to another. Here, we don't know exactly if they're planning on using OCS, which I assume they are, and server meshing in order to transfer the same way they would across space. But
probably, I guess. I just thought like server meshing is more important for like single system like scaling.
I believe Chris Roberts will not be able to wipe his butt in 2020 unless he has server meshing in. I think that's just it. I think everything is so hung up on these two mechanics that like you won't be able to boot Star Citizen from the launch menu without server meshing.
To a degree, you're probably right. I don't know about so again, I don't know anything really about game development, but like the one system having scaling that for like across multiple servers is definitely server meshing, right? Because you have this idea of a single map that's handled by multiple game servers, and you can kind of scale to an infinite number of like servers if you need infinite, but you know what I mean, some significantly high number of servers to manage one map. But like I really in my mind don't see the other systems as being part of the same game map, right? So it's like there's probably some aspect of what you might call meshing between different like game maps, but I don't think it's the same thing as trying to handle one map with multiple servers, right? So I agree,
but OCS
meshing or if it's something else.
But even locally in the same server, right, OCS is supposed to eliminate the need for the data of like what you don't see, right? Or you're not interacting with even the same system.
Again, you have to think about it. It's not the game that you don't see; it's the game that nobody sees, right? Like if nobody's at a particular location, the server can cull that from its system. It doesn't have to keep track of it. But if one person is there, the game has to keep track of those objects.
But your client doesn't, but the overall server
that's
does,
already in place. That's called client-side OCS. We're talking about server-side OCS, which means the server, because the problem is right now they said they've already maxed out their server capacity, the memory they're using, the CPUs, all that stuff, right? And they bought the biggest servers you can get on Amazon, and they can't grow to any bigger servers because they just don't exist, right? So the only way to handle more scale is to have more servers. So,
when it comes to systems, right? With systems and jump points, we really are talking about a loading screen, right? Because there's no other way to get to that other system besides going through this jump point, and then you are going to be going on to a different server for that system very clearly, without question. And so that is definitely probably the easiest case of server meshing because it's handling everything and it's not going down to the object container level where it'll slice a server into multiple or slice a system into multiple servers. But so I think it's much more simplified.
It might be server meshing, but it's a much more simpler version of server meshing because, like, at the end of the day, once you enter the wormhole, you're basically unloading everything from the map.
Well, and that's why I wonder if it's
loading everything from a new map, and all you have to do is keep track of it.
That's why I wonder if it's more related to the server side OCS, because maybe the server has a problem right now culling the information of people even unloading the game and loading in the server, right? And if you leave system, it's got to let go of all that data. Maybe it's not doing that.
Yeah, that's possible.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, because think about all the times we try to load back in and out of server just playing the game, and it's like, oh, that server's crap now, it's dead. Imagine people trying to jump in and out of a jump point.
And they can even really do it pretty easily, right? Because like the different servers could even have their own backend database. All you would have to do is transfer the entities when they move from one system to another into that other database and have everything pick up where it left off and work with it. So I actually think that they could do it relatively easily.
Yeah. I think it's less to do with server meshing, but I think it's just without the server side OCS, it's not culling everything correctly, even when you leave a server. And that's why we get servers that live so long and then they die because it just can't let go of that data. It's just like, but who knows? I'm not a keyboard software warrior. So what do I know? All right. Next question is from Miko, and we'll have Toy Star out with this one because he's the quietest one in the room. Do you believe the rumor that they have done some writing for Squadron 42 Season 2?
I wouldn't be surprised at one bit.
Didn't they write all 3 chapters, right?
Well, yeah, I think that, they did write all 3 chapters.
I thought they did.
But what I want to point out, though, is if you read the Squadron 42 update, they are adding in new scenes. So they're actually, adding more stuff to it.
Well, they got to keep the actors interested in it.
He said, are they working on part 2?
Part 2 of Squadron 42 already.
Oh, yeah.
Or writing, at least writing for it.
They have to. It only makes sense when you pull those A-list actors in to do mocaps and stuff. You're not just going to keep bringing them back every time you want to do stuff. You try and get it all done in one sheet type of thing.
There will be like small technical improvements between episode 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever they're calling them. But like at the end of the day, the biggest bottlenecks for getting the first game out is the technical stuff, and then after that, it's just about making movies. So I would expect to see the second and fourth or third or whatever at least every 2 years or so. You'd see them rolling out with probably another like single player game kind of a thing. So yeah, I'm sure they're already starting to work on it. With all the focus, of course, being on the first versions, episode 1, but I'm sure there's at least
probably the writing, story writing aspect and scripts. I'm sure is like all either it's already written, but then being broken down for that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're mocapping that already as well, just because like I don't think the mocap team's working on Squadron 42 stuff right now. I think they're probably already done all that, and it's just a matter of smoothing. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe not, but
who knows? We'll see who survives the first episode to see if they come into the second.
No, Gillian Anderson, don't go down that hallway.
Yeah, don't do it. We want you. Yeah. All right.
Gillian Anderson. Sorry, I don't know the surname.
And the final question of the night is from Guns and Glue. And he says, do you think the vehicle team needs to do some more research into ground vehicles since most ground military vehicles need work? And then the second part of that, why do you think the ship release pipeline has slowed Could it be due to the needed rework code for object container systems or the desire to have new vehicle ready when they go on sale? So like the instant release vehicles, they're like ready to fly or ready to drive. Do you think that's because we don't see as much in the pipeline right now?
I mean, I don't know who wants to go first. Scorpion looks like he likes to talk about something.
I'll go first.
It keeps them awake longer, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna make it very brief. Should they do more research? Sure, can't hurt. I guess. Why not? And then I don't know why it seems like the ship pipeline has slowed down, but we're not even getting any pipeline reports anymore. We're not getting any kind of look at like where things are outside of like the 890 jump and the carrot they've shown some stuff on. But there are a lot of ships that are still out there that we've seen nothing on. I'm not sure why that is, unless they actually are having those people do lots of work on Squadron 42, which is possible. But yeah, it is kind of surprising to me that it kind of went away, but it was very noticeable to me. So I have to assume that they're using them for something else.
Same here. They had to shift something because like it's night and day this year versus last year on the content they're showing. And just the like what's being delivered as far as gameplay stuff that comes out in each patch. So there's been some sort of like reallocation of resources towards Squadron 42. It probably has something to do with the amount of money that they've raised for marketing and some shift in like survivalism at the company. I would imagine of like, look, we got to get Squadron 42 out by X date or we're kind of like doomed kind of a thing. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not trying to like be the prophet of doom. I think the company is doing great. And I think they've built a great product, but I think that they realize that at the end of the day, you deliver or you go home kind of a thing. And I think they're trying to wrap that up. Yeah. So as far as ships that are coming out or not coming out, I think it has less to do with Squadron 42 than I think that they're working on some big ones. Like, to be honest, I think that they decided to like prioritize a couple big ships, especially the one that they're probably going to release during CitizenCon. I don't know what it is, but it's probably going to be some Anvil-ish relating thing. And we're going to have the 890 Jump come out, like obviously here soon, which will be a capital-ish class ship. It'll be one of the largest ships in the game, if not the largest ship in the game when it comes out here later this month or next month. It's possible, as I hypothesize, that they could be working on a capital class ship and just putting a ton of ship like pipeline resources towards like streamlining a direct deployable large Anvil ship. I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea what they're doing for that.
Yeah.
So
it's all resources are towards the Kraken and then server meshing so we can get more people in.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's got to absolutely be for Squadron 42. I mean, you got most of the ship people working on Squadron 42. Remember, the Idris has been done forever. But remember, just like everything else, they've come out with the new technology for all these ship pipelines. Originally, all the ships were built with polygons, right? And they had to go back and redesign all those ships and get rid of those polygons and start using the meshing and stuff that they use today. So, we know the Idris has been done forever, so they probably had to go back and redo the whole damn thing. And with it being in, at Squadron 42, isn't the Retribution in Squadron 42? How big is that fucking thing?
I think it's being built in Squadron 42. I don't know if it's actually, we don't know the lore of it and all that stuff in the story.
I forget about where it is in the timeline, but yeah.
Well, either way, there's other big ships, the Pegasus, all the alien big ships, the King ship and stuff that we know will be in Squadron 42. So, yeah, they're probably scrambling trying to get all those big ships done and ready for Squadron 42. Yeah. And then just keep a small team putting, spitting out little ships for us and Star Citizen as often as they can.
I mean, I do think that the ones that are going direct to playable, or at least the ones that we've gotten in our hands to play, tend to be relatively small ships outside the 890 Jump that's coming, right? Like, we've gotten a lot of small ships this year. What have we gotten many big ships to play like this year out of the ship pipeline? Not that I can think of. Anyways,
nope.
Yeah, I do feel like we're getting a lot of the hey, let's just get some of these like small, easy, low hanging fruit stuff out of the way.
Well, do you think the game can support a ton of more big ships in it?
That also could be part of it. Yeah, it could be.
I think maybe that's a concern. Like, hey, we keep dropping more reclaimers and stuff. I mean, the 890 drop alone is going to be really interesting to see. Like, like you've blacked out all of Sar. You can't even see it because there's so many 890s.
You do feel like at that point, like you might as well have any ship. If you're gonna have 890s, there's gonna be an entire server that's full of 890s. Nobody's flying anything but 890s when this thing drops, right? Yep. So if you're going that route, then I think that like there's no point not having a whole bunch of other big ships in the game, because if you can support 50 890s, you can support anything.
True enough.
But it's not about the supporting the ships. It's about supporting the players in the server.
Well, yeah, but if you don't increase the players in the server from 50, you don't have to worry about it. We're talking about like why, like I was just hypothesizing a lot of small ships, easy low hanging fruits coming out, right? And Mitt raised a good point, which is that maybe they're just not doing bigger ships because of performance. But if they're releasing 890, does that really kind of?
I don't know what type of impact that has on performance or not. I don't know.
But remember the new, I forget what they call it anymore, where unless you have windows or whatever, it's not loading the interior of your ship. You know what I mean?
For your client, it isn't, but for the server, it is, right?
That needs to go in on those bigger ships. You know what I mean? And that's going to help the performance as well.
Once they have server-side OCS, so the server doesn't have to track all that stuff. Yeah, but I mean, client size, we should be fine. I just don't think the servers handle it. I think that's the issue, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. We'll find out in time. But that's it, guys.
That's all she wrote.
We went into overtime by 43 minutes. No big deal.
It's not so bad.
That's never happened before. So
never.
Okay.
First time ever.
That's
First time ever. But thank you guys for being here tonight. That was a great show. Good times. We'll continue on having good stuff. Luke, you said you're going to be streaming after this, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to jump on pretty much right now. Why not?
Yeah. So I think I might, I'm being signaled by varying parties that I might have to call it a wrap. So here in a few minutes, I might just throw everybody your way anyway.
All right.
If you want to get things queued up for that.
Yeah, I'll get queued. I'll just throw it up right now.
Just throw it up, baby. Just throw it up. We'll go over there here in a second. We'll do the super secret raid over on Luke. But again, Scorpion Toy, thank you guys for being here as well. Really appreciate it. Remember, you can catch all these guys, usually Scorpion in the mornings.
Tomorrow morning.
And then
me in the evenings.
Yeah, well, you're in the late evenings. Few in the evening, and then late night with Toy Grubbin. So you can catch them all sorts of different times, guys. So be sure to tune in that, as well as the rest of our team members and Space Bros. Please take your time, go check out the rest of the team, give some follows out there. Everybody in the team pretty much plays some form of Star Citizen, or at least some pew-pews. Yep. So try to jump in, play with us, have some fun, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Friday at 9 p.m. again, where we'll do another one of these things with hopefully some more information about our favorite game, Star Citizen.
This is fun, man. I just want to say before we leave, it's good to be back on the SpaceBro Show.
Yes.
I like it.
It is.
Let's not go so long between SpaceBro shows again.
Hopefully we can get together and have some meetings and get some of our other show ideas out. Yeah, so that'd be cool too.
Good.
Do a couple others. All right, guys.
Let's do it.
Have a good night. We'll see you later.
Good
Love
night,
your
everybody.
faces. Peace out, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.